like coi Mazuong đánh giải mọi người ơi. Kênh này đã bị hack. Hello. Rất đánh rồi á. Cái số này là thời gian người vẫn nhỏ á. Thế mà thực ra Mazuong nó phải là mic to lắm, kéo xuống đi. Thế mình để full nhá. Hi. Để cam như thế. Lát xem vào trận nó không bị che thông tin cho mọi người á. To như một xíu xong lát mình lại thu bé lại nữa. Mà không biết nữa, hơi xấu. Kênh này đã bị hack. Không phải, mình không phải là người yêu của Mazuong mọi người ơi, no. Trời ơi, 1 phút nữa. Run giùm luôn á. Trời ơi, người ta đánh giải mà mình run. Không phải người yêu đâu. Thề. Mình like cổ vũ tinh thần thôi, không biết cáp nhé mọi người ơi. Mình chơi game này được 1 năm. Mới chơi được 1 năm thôi á. Mình không biết cáp đâu, mình chỉ like vui vẻ hoan hỉ thôi. Nó cũng nói em như thế, nó bảo là không cần cáp đâu, cần ngồi đấy là được rồi. Hello mọi người à. Mắc cỡ quá. Mọi người cổ vũ cho Mazuong nhé. Bạn về chắc là cũng vui lắm. Phút nữa. Hôm trước vừa mới mình cũng tâm trạng như thế này mà mình ngồi coi VCS và LCK. Trời ơi, hồi hộp quá. Chuyện tôi còn chưa lên được ranh vàng nữa, mọi người đón tôi ranh vàng hả? Trời ơi, cảm động quá. Hả? Để share like cho Mazuong. Mở á. Làm sao để share livestream vậy mọi người? Lâu tết thật sự. Giây thôi. Mọi người có nghe thấy tiếng gì không? Mình không chẳng nghe thấy tiếng gì cả.
Welcome the hell back to Oceanic Valorant. We have been having some fun. GG how taking the 2-0 for the first series of the day. And of course, it's not just me, it's Dion. We're bringing you all the fun, all the action, and watching a lot of decent action. That was a great game to kick off the series. We've got a second series to get into though, and 2 fresh teams which we haven't seen for a hot minute.
Không đeo tai nghe thì làm sao mà nghe?
I was looking at it after the pre-show where we saw, you know, all the 4 teams, and I was thinking, which series is going to be closer? And in my mind, I thought it would be the second one. The first map of the first series kind of maybe questioned things with that 13-11.
Hay là tại cái
back in a little bit of a more normal atmosphere with 13-6 from GG Hell there.
Mọi người. Mình chả nghe được.
The more I think about this second series, the more that I just think I have no idea how this one's actually going to turn out.
See, I know more of the names on Bobo, and I feel like they're better players in my mind, but I could be wrong. You know, there's been a fair bit of time. That's the thing. Like every time we get one of these competitions, there's just like 6 months or more, or like how long's it been since the last one? 9 months? Something like that.
Well, what? Ascent was in like August, right? So
để cam như thế để vào game mọi người còn xem được mấy cái thông tin ở trong game. Không biết là Mazuong đã setting như thế cho mình, cho nên mình sẽ để như
People can
thế.
get good in 9 months, man. People that like were okay can be nuts. People that were nuts can be bad, and it's just one of those things, right? Now, let's talk about Bobo first, because we got some international experienced individuals coming back to this team.
Thấy rồi.
In Australia, and he's been playing a lot of FPS games, but only recently jumped back into Valorant. I think that was only like.
Mọi người đoán xem trận đầu thì Mazuong sẽ đánh con gì?
Him with the rest of the boys looking to make this happen. I haven't seen too much of Mazuong. I know that he's been playing like this is the thing, right? When the last DreamHack was on, the only time I heard of him is because he was at one of the LAN teams, and I heard really good things about him.
Yeah.
And he's only now finally gotten onto a good team to show what they're capable of here at Challenge.
So I guess for the people that might not know who Mazuong is, he played in Trident for the longest of times, and he was always, you know, I say Trident, the Trident core players, for the longest time, and they actually did some really good things at that DreamHack event. That was really fun. I got to go and talk to the players and witness them play there. It was a great atmosphere. He played for Antic for a little bit as well. But the thing about Maz is he actually has, you know, a big personality and following in the Vietnamese scene too. So that's, you know, really big for himself, and there's a lot for him to kind of prove being in Oceania with the team, where he belongs, where he fits. I think this Bobo roster that he slots into is going to be really interesting. I don't want to say a clash of personalities, but I kind of get a feel like that could be a possibility that they need to iron out early on in this roster rendition that Bobo come with. And I think up against Edge, kind of a good atmosphere to be able to learn together.
Yeah, I don't know about that. Like we'll see. When it comes to an environment like this, even though, yes, some people get weird vibes from a couple of those individuals on Bobo, I'm sure that, you know, when they're in a team environment, it ain't like that at all. Everyone's learning, everyone's there to win, you know? Like, that's just one of those things. But, look, Edge, they're a team that have some big names. You're looking at Mike, like, that's the name that stands out to me. The amount of players I saw him make in the last year is actually nuts. And him with Bluebird, him with Exhaust, Amnesty, and Mark II. Mark II?
You might remember his previous name was Prophet. If you
I do remember that.
Yeah,
I do remember that. That's just none of these bloody name changes. How we got a lot of those coming in this split. Get out of here. Stop it. Just pick a name. Stick with it.
Yeah, we've had a lot of name changes actually coming into it, which is always interesting. You kind of forego what you were known for previously and you have to figure out where you are in this one. But we'll see what Mark II, MK2, Prophet can come with in towards this series, because I'm expecting him to be duelist on this roster.
He's dug his own grave. They have Mike 1 on the team because he's literally got 1 in his name, so he can be Mike 2. I don't care if it's MK2, he's Mike 2 to me.
And you know what you said about 2 in the last series?
That's it, man. They actually changed it between the maps. His extra digit
got
disappeared going into the second one. Yeah, it was gone. But look, moving into this one, where do we need to look? You know, with the head-to-head, you got Muzz and Exhaust here. Why have we gone for these two?
That's a good question. I reckon we just need to see a lot of consistency. We need to see a lot of clutch potential come through, and these two players are kind of attacking at it quite differently in the style that they do. You know, Exhaust is predominantly the jet player, where Muzz coming in towards this roster, I'm looking towards more Sentinel / controller on the flex line. We'll see a Viper potentially. We'll see Killjoys and Cypher. We might see an Omen. Muzz is the kind of player that I would expect to adopt Clove when they're playable and sort of fit in that role. So we're kind of looking for a lot more control from both of these players at certain areas, but the clutch potential from them can come through nicely.
Yeah, Clove's mad, and I can't wait to see them join us in the agent select. But we're not up to agents, we need to talk maps. What are we going for the veto? Hey, what's going on here? No split, no bind, no breeze, no sunset. We're going Lotus, we're going Ascent, we're going Icebox. So I'm keen. This is the first time we get to see Lotus so far in the playoffs, and a little bit of a change of pace. It is picked by Edge, so Bobo will be starting there on the defense, and that's going to be setting the tone for the series. Bobo heading towards Ascent, and then Icebox as that decider if we need it. Let's see how it all ends up going. But I'm keen to see Lotus. I've been really enjoying playing Lotus lately.
Yeah, absolutely. You know, let's throw it back to the gimmick factor. This map has 3 sites as well, so we'll need to actually see a lot of this control come through from these teams. They adopt it differently as well in history. These guys rock different agent lineups. You'll see a Breeze and a Fade. Conversely, you'll see like a Gecko run in with the Sova. So there's different kind of attacking and defending styles. So we'll start to see some strengths and weaknesses from these teams. But I think the first map is probably only going to be a taste of what's to come in my mind. I think personally, I'm a little bit more excited for the second map to come in towards this series for Ascent, because again, we saw how close it was in the previous series between the two teams, 13-11, that final scoreline. If you're just joining us, I feel like with where we are at right now in our region as well, you know, this is pretty close between these two teams as well. You know, seeding doesn't really matter, I don't really think. And now that we do get these agents up, they're actually getting a different change. Yeah, no breach. Okay.
Không phải bạn người đâu.
Sky on one side,
Sao ấy?
we
Mọi người
got
sao
Fade
ấy?
on the other, and then of course we got Cypher and KJ. And then Bobo, they're going the old double controller, which makes sense. And this is what I wanted to see, right? This is what I was talking about earlier, with the fact that double controller seems to be a bit more prevalent now. Everyone seems to be happy to go for a waller.
Mặc dù tớ hát không hay, nhưng mà lâu lâu tớ sẽ tặng mọi người một bài đó, mọi người nghe xong, mọi người đừng out livestream nhá. Lâu thôi.
I don't want to call it an orb smoke, man, because smokes are the circular ones, and balls are walls.
It's that kind of role thing in Valorant where it's like, yeah, you've got duelists and you've got initiators and you've got controllers and everything. People think there's no such thing as a subcategory. People think there are such things as a smoke category, subcategory rather.
Bro, you got healers. You got a healer that's an initiator, you got a healer that's a sentinel, you know, but that's like, a subcategory, you know.
It's like Sage, you know, they're technically the sentinel, but they're, you know, a healing sentinel. I don't know. There's a story for another day.
Yeah, exactly. What I was trying to get at with that is Crunchy's been an aggressive omen for a very, very long time. Since the game's inception, he was always making plays in scrims. You'd see him on Twitter where he just paranoia and TP straight behind him. Like nothing was wrong, and it would always work. And now we're seeing that in high-level professional play, thanks to your boy Tens, using it as like a pseudo-duelist. So let's see what Bobo will cook in here today.
Indeed. We'll see those aggressions that you're mentioning on from Crunchy has pretty much always been in this role. That's some spam to come through the door from the Sheriffs, but it's a quick one in towards B to start us off from Bobo.
Yeah, Edge postured for a retake. They will be paranoid off just to be stuck there over towards the broken wall. Mike going to be able to put his head in and make sure that they can control the doing the whole damn thing himself. 4 quick kills with the Sheriff, and that's a crazy start to the series. Mazuong, he's crispy with it, but not crispy enough. Only cooked for 1, and that's going to be a quick retake. Edge, first round on the board.
Bit of a mockery in that one. Mike definitely could have received a heal from Amnesty and could have gone for the ace. Would have been a nice one with those shots to come on through. Would have been very, very clean. But the round is still pretty clean, all things considered, for Edge as well, right? The amount of players that survive at the end there. Mike is one off a neural theft. Imagine getting that into the second round, or essentially having that available for the third round where the guns will be presented by Bobo. If they don't go for a force, I mean, the plant was there, but the kills weren't, so they probably shouldn't go for the force.
I don't like that trip.
You don't like the trip?
I don't like that trip. They can walk into waterfall for free. I don't like it. But they can't walk into sea for free because there's a camera there.
Yep.
And we are going to see that eye at least try to feign the sand control, but with the camera, Mike's seeing everything and they know it's a fake. Now, I'm worried about what's going on here for Amnesty. He's going to be trying to take point, but will he get caught off from behind the wall? Bobo, they're playing this real sneaky.
Yeah, it's common to get naded, but they're actually not going to be able to do so. A reload to come through from the Outlaw with some great damage actually starting to come through. 1 and 2. That gun is really bad with the no scopes, but the sidearm whipped out, does what's needed. Now it's just down to Muzz. See what he can do with the Sheriff, if at all any damage. And it'll make that next round where they've got the guns a little bit smoother, Mac.
They get it done eventually, and that will be 2 on the board for Edge.
Mike didn't get his neural theft.
Criminal. Absolutely criminal. But it's not a super OP ultimate, you know? It's just something that's like nice for a retake or something. You get a pick, you can tell where all the people are in the post plan, or
mọi người chơi game mọi người dí sát con mắt vào màn hình như thế á.
Yeah, I think it's really powerful. I think it's quite powerful coming into a bonus round had he have it though, because you got the lesser weaponry. If you get an early read or an early pick, you can, you know, steal the guns or set yourselves up quickly. Especially playing the C site as well. If you don't spot anything out nice and early, chances are you can kind of creep up and get that orb. But it's the B site that we're getting a little bit aggressive right now. Oh my lord! Oh, yeah, this round's done already.
How?
So Lotus is an attacker-sided map, and it is not going
well
well
at all. Mình không đi bắn giải á.
Bonus doesn't even look like a bonus, does it? It is just being torn right through him. Boombot not spotting out any extra info there, as Noz is just gonna hope that he can go toe-to-toe with the Edge boys. Ooh, MK2 is gonna be spotted over towards that side. And Noz, hard crossfire here with the dark cover in the way now. Things could get dangerous real quickly. Exerst going deeper towards the waterfall connector. And Mike is positioned perfectly to deal with this one. Surely they don't expect it here. Well, they won't even have the gun out, and the trade does not come through. But he's got that ult that you were waiting for.
Yeah, I mean, in the grand scheme of things now, Mac didn't really require it in that round with the damage that was delivered really early on with that B push from the team holding the standard line. Bobo didn't use any utility to clear it either, right? They peeked before any of it. No Boombot to go in, no Prowlers, no Haunt into the deeper side of site. It's kind of rough, and you know, I don't want to say they walked into that one, but they literally did walk into the crosshairs of Edge. So they have to kind of sit back and see how this next round is going to go. You know, the difference being with the Viper for Noz, you can kind of keep a bit of attention to the side of things for Edge.
cổ vũ Mazuong bắn giải thôi. Tớ
There's
không
3
biết cá.
players for them stacked over there currently. They will have to kind of respect a little bit of this Viper
không
utility.
leo
They
lên
know
được
they're
đánh
going to
vàng
be up
của
against
cái
the
game
pistols,
này
so sending in
nữa.
the Trailblazer, sending in the flashes, you can provide a push for Exerce from the back of it, and the rest of the squad can start to scale back towards C because pressure is building here. There's a lot of space and a lot of information that Edge have for the time being. Ouch.
Oh. Mazda. Cracker of an opening. Sucks that it has to happen on the Sheriff round, but let's see if they can pull a little eco-friendly one. Going in there with the Prowler, and there's another entry. Muzzy Boy doing it all himself right now. Gets himself the upgrade. Oh, and another. That is going to be that. Surely Edge can't come back from here.
Well, we've seen one before already tonight, Mac. Let's see if Lotus and Mike can cook something up. They get killed. They're all theft in. Although Mike already on 50 HP.
Mà mình chưa bắn thật đúng không? Mình bắn đùa thôi đúng không?
Labs there, just popping everything, but unfortunately not the enemy. And Luba will be spotted over the wards. The defender spawn gets the first, but a swift trade from Zor will fade away behind the wall. And Bobo, they will finally get that first round with a thrifty.
Xin lỗi mọi người, mình không rành cái game này cho lắm. Mazuong nó bảo là chỉ cần mình ngồi ở đây là được rồi.
And maybe in this sort of time we'll start to see them try to capitalize with the toxic screen that is up from Noz. You're not running flashes essentially on this side of Bobo as well, so you kind of need to be a little bit more committed to taking fights with the bodies, using these shrouded steps, using the satchels to try and get across. Prowlers as well from Zork, as well as that Haunt is going to be really impactful over at A if they want to gain for the control, which is actually not what's happening this time from Bobo. Edge have found the control yet again over towards A rubble. Deep utility as well will start to provide a little bit of a slower scale for Bobo. They have the choice of going in towards the B site quickly, or they can just wait for a little bit of a crunch on towards the C side of things. With the dark cover going down, that'll provide a bit of an escape plan for Edge.
That spray coming through from Mike almost cost Exerce his life, but he will be able to fade away, and now looks like Bobo are thinking about leaving the scene.
Mazuong actually got the orb, so he's got the showstopper online as well. I know that the sky was over towards A with the location of the Seekers.
Mình có caster tiếng Việt không ạ? Nhiều khi mình nghe tiếng Anh mà mình không hiểu á mọi người ơi.
We're going back to the C side. We're going in.
Oh, shot doesn't land enough damage to take Mike out of the round. Prowler doesn't see him either, and he's happy just to lock down that defender control. But meanwhile, it's going to be a relatively open plant, maybe spammable here to Bobo if they keep playing over towards the sand. Zork on the back of sight as well. Solid position here. Has Mazuong right near him. And in terms of the utility, there's not much remaining here for Bobo, but Edge, they're on for the retake. Boombot going to be coming around the corner. MK2 vulnerable and almost mopped up. Zork going to be able to find one as the push keeps on coming. Exerce finally falling. Man didn't have too much health to play with. And Lubert on half HP.
Oh, the molly's
just
missed.
try and buy some time. There you go. The molly's missed, but the shots didn't. Crunchy single-handedly saving the day. Noz as well. Getting that wallbang. Making his way around for Bobo to get a second. It got a little scary for a moment, though.
Yeah, it got especially scary when you see that Exerce jumps up, can't get the operator shot, the trades come out, the neural theft actually gets utilized by Mike. They get all the reveals. You know the remaining players are outside to the mound, but with the wallbangs to come through, 3 players essentially could start to get the spam. Dark cover for Lubit doesn't really work out. I like the early decision making as well from Bobo, right? You can see that Noz is playing with the peaks from Edge over at C, up and down with the poison cloud. You got momentum and positioning from Edge again back over towards A previously. It's echoed in this round yet again, but you're really starting to try and just move Edge around the map where you want as Bobo. And they kind of need to do it again in this round too. There is an investment from Edge. There's only one player over at the C site in Mike. The Nightfall goes in to reveal that, but you've already got a rotation to come through from the defenders before Bobo get inside.
Exerce going to miss a couple of knives, but we'll get the refresh off with one. Unfortunately, it is a Bobo cleanup. 4 kills traded for bloody 2 there. And just like that, MK2 going to be left all on his lonesome here towards the backside of sight. We're going to edge in, but Bobo, all those chokes covered, and it looks like MK2 is a little bit worried about the flank now. Martial gameplay.
Let him cook.
We've seen it Took up a storm, but this time he's just looked the wrong. But he did.
Nice.
Yeah. Kind of millisecond before he got taken out, the pixel line, he was able to find the shot. So I guess in the half buy that you go in with Edge to still permit yourselves a buy in this round, you're getting 3 kills. It's okay for a couple of ult points, yeah, for sure, but it's not really playing with the economy of Bobo. Kind of just giving them extra ult points as well. Muzz is now 1 away from the lockdown.
Biết sao không?
Mazuong
bắn ray mà anh kia cũng bắn ray. Mình đang không biết là con ray nào là con ray ở bên team mình á.
Edge to still get this A main control. They've been throwing paranoias or guiding lights with dashes and satchels and paint shells.
Yeah.
So they're throwing everything at it yet again. Muzz has heard all of that, the Trailblazer. So he knows that there's the jet. He knows there's the sky right now. This guy's still there.
He's almost managed to slide those shots in through the dark cover. Freebie and another. Mike 2. Living up to his namesake, getting 2 Swifties. And Lubert as well, ready for that swinging through the dark cover. 1, surely enough here if Mike can get the trade. Spike on the ground, and Crunchy has a big job to do. He's actually TP'd
hoài
straight
luôn
top side of
á.
side. He knows where Mike is. That cyber cage allows him just to slink away. Connection there. Oh, the lineup. Nothing happens from it though.
Không hay xem giải Valorant lắm đâu. Nó loạn quá.
Well, you know, when they get the reveal that Muzz is still outside of the lobby, he's put down his turret. They Trailblazer him back. They flash him as well. He's done extra work to get the second frag, closing it out with a third too. It's exactly what you want to see from a Raze on this map to keep your team entertained, to keep the audience entertained, but to get yourself some rounds on this defensive side. Again, I mentioned previously, it doesn't really play with the economy too hard, so Bobo have this big old investment. And Odin on the attacker's side, if that was to continue in the round, I would have wondered what usages Zork had for us with that weapon, but back to the Vandal. This is one of those rounds again where we have seen this poison cloud from Noz earlier on. They can set themselves up, or at least attempt to set themselves up for a lockdown in this round. There's no way that can really get destroyed by Edge, unless they sacrifice some bodies to try and do so. So you'll see the silent creep up. Muzz again just holding over towards A. They want to come back towards the A side after grabbing the orb here. They very well can. Not overstepping.
See anything.
Yeah, not overstepping into the camera line as well. So a little bit of a blessing in disguise for Bobo. They can all just retreat back over towards Muzz, start to scale up through the A side of the map.
cũng không phải là người yêu tớ. Icebox là anh trai của tớ. Trời đất ơi. Mà Vương cũng không phải á mọi người à. Ôi trời ơi.
Look at the rotations.
That's all he did.
He broke one trap. They smoked it. And then rotated 2, nearly 3 players over.
Oof, Luberto about to have a big job on his hands, but at least Amnesty has this cross now that the gas has run out. They're going to go through tree side instead. Revealing that there's no one there. And Amnesty will fall eventually. We got MK2 trying to lock down the stairs, but he's gone. And Bobo, just like that, certainly they'll win the round.
Yeah, well, Mazuong misses that quick one to try and pressure behind the lockdown. It will pop off. And that's enough for them to go for the save now.
Yeah.
Lubert wants none of that jazz. Mike able to at least finish that one off. Cheeky headshot through the wall. 2 away from an ult of his own, but the rest of the Edge boys are just edging at sea.
Súng đáng yêu ghê.
Handshake for the end of the round. No one hunting, no one bothering. Bobo happy to worry about themselves with the W4. Rifles carried across into round 9. Is going to sweeten the pot a little bit. And they don't have a lot of ults to use. They may be able to. Mazuong can potentially play for an orb somewhere.
Yeah. I mean, they've done well in finding this little scaling approach over towards C when Noz has the poison cloud there. So he might be able to grab the orb there. If they quickly get over towards A rubble and they realize that, hey, we're not seeing a paranoia or a flash or any aggression here, it could actually turn into a pretty quick A-sided take from Bobo. Yeah, they've seen absolutely nothing, so they should be realizing that there's more of a stack over towards either B or over towards C. The poison cloud will keep them behind from the flank for the time being, so Bobo, they're going to get lured in towards taking a little bit more space towards the A site at the moment, where Mike lays in wait, and he's got some rotations already from
Cái này mình đang chơi đập spy nhanh của mọi người.
Prowler lets him know that someone's on the back of sight. Oh, the read unfortunately wasn't good, and the damage just doesn't get much done. Mike towards the back of sight is going to be stuck as all hell, and the decay, it locks him in. It denies them any sound, but other than that, it looks like Bobo. They're like, well, look, there's a few at the back of sight. Screw this, let's just go to B instead.
Real unfortunate for Mazuong, missing the rocket, losing his life. Plant not even able to go in just yet. Crunchy's gone. Muz in for the trade, but the plant does go down. Mac, it's an advantage for Edge.
By making sure that there is no one there on the flank, and Zork's going to try to escape back to the safety of B main. Ooh, now in the meanwhile, there's enough of a bait for Noz to be able to walk straight through. I love that. Coming through from Bobo. Muz though, 4 wingmans really damn hard, and Zork left in the 1v3 will only be able to find one there. It wasn't even him, it was Noz with the snake bite from the grave. But 2 alive at the end, and a 5th round on the defense of Lotus. Edge, they're going to be so happy with that already.
Absolutely. Good little retake from them at the end there as well. Everyone hitting their shots where required, getting out the trades. They kind of do have to respect the lockdown that, you know, Bobo were trying to exercise over towards A when they go in. I maybe thought that they were going to overwhelm the players and drop when Zork found 2 with the C's, but there was no extra utility that they could throw down that way to off-put them. Paint shells were used, rocket was gone. Molly's not going to do too much from Noz unless he could try and double it up, maybe with...
Ơ? Làm sao thế?
New round, they gather the space around A rubble yet again with a big push from Edge over at C Mound. It's going to take them a little bit to get over towards the A side now that tree control is already established for Bobo, and a fight was picked to gain the mention side.
It's going to be a difficult retake, and you can see as well that the 3-man flank coming in from C might not have the influence that it wants, but now with that poppin', Muz, he can turn around. He can maybe get the info that there is going to be this big flank. But you look at Crunchy's position over towards Ruins too. E's position is known with that kill. But the flank still needs to activate, and Crunchy, he has just ulted right out of dodge, right out of danger's way. And no one can hear a damn thing. Mike, he's hoping, he's spotting, he's using that neural theft to any effectiveness. The eye was just outside the Viper pit, so it won't do a thing. Oh, and it's looking a little rough here for Edge until
Odin to win.
Beyond, he has to go through that wall, and there's 2 Bobo members looking right at his footsteps, crunching, squelching through the mud at him, and that's going to be 5 on the board for Bobo.
Yeah, evening things up yet again. You got to say some good entries from Bobo to get into the site, right? Pretty much no contest from Edge by the time they get in there. A lot of trades to come out. Great haunt reveals from Zork. Some sneaky positioning from Edge to try to dodge it all as well at the end of the day. But unfortunately, the Viper's pit, when the spike is planted in there, Noz is kind of the player that you have to try and target to give yourselves a little bit more vision. There's not a lot of utility for Edge in that scenario that they can do that. So they have to forgo that round. 4 players running up through the guts of the middle of the map, and Muz is squashed.
Stealing sight. Drop the paranoia just to slow things down, and will shadow step to safety. 4-man flank already here, and MK2 is looking to try and find the angle. Big damage onto Crunchy, but not enough to secure it. Paint shells though. Oh, gets 4 more. And he's knocking at the door of going up to heaven instead. Has that shadow step, but will tuck away on the back of sight and allow the others to get some extra map control. Mazuong as well has that boom bot. He can maybe see them coming in the dark cover. Will split them up. And as that push comes, it's just a full lineup. Mazuong looking for more. The cyber cage doesn't help him. It's Noz and Zork to close, but Bobo very happy to secure a 6th and maintain the lead.
Yeah, it looked a little bit risky for Bobo in the little later stages of that spike play situation too. You're at a 5 versus 4. They haven't really started to come into the site just yet. You're thinking that there's going to be a a flash maybe to go in to set them all up, but just the dry swing out, Mazuong lining them up as we see, and then the rest of the squad just doing the damage where required. This A-site pressure is kind of been building up for Bobo now. They've won it successfully a couple of times. It does definitely give you the idea that Edge are going to contest it now. We see it. They're going to throw the paranoia, the flash, the dash in from Exerst. It's a bit unfortunate there's no pain shells to potentially go in to find some damage onto Bobo, but when this utility does start to expire, Bobo have a choice. Do they want to regain control of this location, or do they want to explore elsewhere?
Scout destroyed.
Well, Trailblazer gets the info on some presence towards A main. Nano not going to be able to deal with that boombot. And Mike just making sure no one's walked into B for free. Exerst.
Ủa sao biết hay vậy?
Almost nasty.
Mọi người chơi game.
With the wall when it goes down, Mazuong a little bit unfortunate.
What the
but
fuck?
the trades are starting to look pretty good from Bobo. There's 3. Now just on the Mike and Mark 2.
Chơi game cảm tính hả?
They're nowhere near the A
Là
side.
sao nữa?
Prowler to clear out tree. And Edge very far away.
Yeah.
Muz awkwardly on the flank, but now a very far way away. So maybe there's a world where you can get in.
His utility is not finding that Mike is coming from the flank, so it might be a little bit too late. But with MK2 finding that kill, he can technically satchel up. Mike needs to come in for this flank pretty early.
Needs to keep on going. Oh, the full wraparound. That's a freebie. No scopes? Maybe a quick scope. I don't know, but risky regardless. And Mike cannot activate. So that'll be that. Bobo 7-5 at the half. And we're flipping sides.
Yeah, I think it's still a pretty comfortable half for Edge.
Cái này mình
When you
đánh
think about
BO3 hay
the way that this
BO5 ạ?
started and then the way it was looking when Bobo get the thrifty and they start to come back in towards this one, the way it kind of ends with the way that Bobo were just gaining control of A time and time again, getting those plants, holding it off quite nicely. I think 5 is still pretty respectable. You get the pistol, you're essentially going to be tying up the scoreline, right? You get the second round, you're 7-7 before you see the gun round come through from Bobo. I'm interested to see the differences that these agent compositions do bring, though, right? Because it's not a mirror match. We've seen mirror matches today, and we've seen kind of the same stuff. I like when they're different. I like the different styles. I want to see how Noz is going to be playing on this defensive side. The wall to cut the front of B, to get nice little hold at the tree line as well if that door gets opened by Edge. One-way dark cover over at the C side to scale up a couple of these extra members as well. So already we're seeing a little bit of a two-dimensional approach from Bobo, attacking over at the C side and on the defender side.
Không,
and
tớ
kind of
không
holding
chơi
off foot on the back of some
Liên Quân đâu
killjoy
á,
utility
chơi Liên
over
Minh
at A,
thôi.
which
Hồi
is
trước
looking to
tớ
be
stream Liên
now
Minh á,
where
bây
Muz
giờ
and
hết rồi.
Noz have to show what they're made of.
Trailblazer dealt with. Muz looking very happy to keep controlling tree, but
Bây giờ
meanwhile Mike
mình là
again,
binh xanh,
a master of the sheriff,
mình binh xanh.
has managed to snag the opening. Crunchy, he's out. No aggression allowed from him, and as they break the wall, it's a split back to B instead. I'm looking at Zork, who might be able to be the difference maker with a lurk in from B main on the flank. But for the most part now, depends on how this one goes, and Amnesty did not track well there.
No, but they have to get in towards the side on a retake for Bobo. There is a flank that can come through.
Em
Is there a
nhảy
turret
gì lắm.
watching it? There's not. There's a camera, of course. They don't have a killjoy. They got a cipher, and now Mike has spotted this one.
Ooh, he's reloading. It should be free. It should be free, but it's not. Zork can't line that one up. The post keeps Mike alive as he gets the reload off, gets the shot off, and Muz is just trying to figure out where these individuals are coming from. There it is. It's MK2 to lock it through for 3 and keep it pretty damn close. Taking this pistol means Bobo might not be in the lead for too much longer.
No, that's yeah, one of the ways that you definitely want to see a team trailing at the half get into the half. It's by finding a pistol, fighting the second round. You're tied up, then you got the gun round. If you win that third bonus, then you're pretty happy, especially with Edge coming onto this attacker's side. They can really try and play with the rotations of Bobo. This round is probably not going to be a good example of that. This round you probably want to see as a bit of a confidence booster for players like Amnesty and maybe even Exerst, where not necessarily need to do too much because MK2 has been doing the lion's share of the damage.
One way đúng không mọi người? Tớ cũng đang học chơi smoke. Trông hay thế. Làm sao để smoke được như thế?
Still the C site for Edge, the dark cover over at A lobby earlier on, providing a bit of a scare tactic to fall back. You don't know how many players of Bobo are on the back of it. You kind of have to throw in your Trailblazer as your only real drone, which they still have to invest to clear everything close. Apart from this, to get into the site, you know, you got your smokes, your paranoia, you got one guiding light that's used to clear outside the breakable door. Now it's going to come down to what the paint shells that are just thrown can do and what your guns can do.
Tớ thấy là one way được là hay lắm rồi á, đội nào cũng được thôi.
Mikey boy. Dropping the cyber cage to try and deal with the aggression, which he will. Denies the vision, gets the safety, and has a helping hand coming in from Tree. Flank slowly but surely activated, and hoping that they can draw attention away from Mazuong, who wants to try and land a shot at stairs. There's one gone. Oh, a dink at that range. Unfortunately, isn't fatal. An amnesty, the Guardian. Oh, he's lost that one.
Yep, 2v3. More damage would be good to come out.
Oh, he swapped the weapons.
That's how you use the Guardian.
Crispy taps. And Zork. Oh, yeah, one bullet left there means that's another Guardian gone. Retrieved by MK2, moving into the next, but Bobo end up getting a decent amount of damage there.
Yeah, absolutely. The Guardian upgraded to the Phantom at the end of that too, so it will provide a little bit of extra firepower for Edge, who, you know, if that's how they're performing against these weaker weapons of Bobo, need to have a bit of a discussion on how it's going to look in their next gun round, provided that, you know, this one goes Bobo's way and it'll be a little bit more strengthened of a gun round. Looking at Bobo where they're looking to situate themselves early on. It's looking like they want to go for some A aggression themselves. A dark cover in, actually, not a paranoia, but with a haunt in combination over at A will gain them good control. Might as well start to feel the pressure over at C, however, though, Mac, because this is looking quick from Edge.
Oh, lovely. A readjustment from Muzz. Finds that head of Exhaust falling from the air. The TP across is not gone well. Lubit dealt with. MK2 doesn't have a helping hand. And as the toxic orb dissipates, it's looking like it's the freest round in the world.
Sao mọi người có thể
escape
nhanh như
that
thế?
bonus round like it's nothing, and they stay in the lead 8-7.
Yeah, 3k to come through from Muzz as well. As sweet as Fairy Floss, you do love to see that one, and it's as tasty of a round for Bobo. Not dropping absolutely anything, essentially. That's how you want those rounds to go. But for Edge, this is what I was kind of waiting for, right? I was waiting for the weaponry to come through in this one. And it's not actually looking as good as you would like it. 3 players coming in with the light shields to get the extra utility. No heal for Amnesty either. So keep an eye on what might happen a little bit in the later stages. Now Exhaust is on an island. He's dashed across. He's got a flash in. Okay, it's actually provided an opening opportunity for Edge.
4 shots. Zork. Won't last too long, as Exhaust is going to be the man to spin around. Take all those names, Bobo torn apart by him. But how do they fare with a Killjoy and a Viper in a 2v4? There's only 3 on site for Noz to try to get past here. If he can maybe catch a timing. Ooh, this could be the beginning of the end. They've still got that lurk from Mike coming in from the B site. But oh, it's going to be a timing on the flank. Mike, is it free? Will it be? Ooh, not yet. Nozzy gets sprayed down. And that should be an 8th secured for Edge. Muzz, can he live? That's a big question.
He's gonna play some games on his way.
Ủa xinh quá vậy?
For Edge on their big old first gun round as well is pretty good if you can remove Muzz from the equation and seal the deal where there's no weapons really translating to the next round for Bobo. I think you're pretty happy to keep this game in good contest.
Để cho mọi người
I mean, Mike knows he's here somewhere, right? The turret is activated.
Còn che cả
He's
mắt
just gone the
này.
wrong way.
Muzzy boy. Safe on the back of C. And we're all tied up again.
Nhưng mà bạn chép team kia bắn ghê quá ha.
Alt check. Bobo getting close to a couple.
Tướng đang tính học chơi con chép đấy mà.
All around the map to get 2 of the 3 orbs.
Yeah.
There's a chance they could get the Locky online and maybe just take some site for free, but that's a lot of investment of time to get 3 orbs.
Wait. There's only 2.
But the lockdown, there's 3.
No, there's no orb in mid anymore.
Oh, isn't there?
No.
Right. Well, Shows how much I get orbs these days. They're usually gone by the time I get there.
Well, speaking of gone, Bobo have left and are rotating back around towards the A side of things. A wall from Noz and a dark cover as well, permitting the escape at least for now, but a flank. In terms of Mike already getting through the whole of C sites because the alarm bot was down. Doesn't really matter when Noz finds 4.
Hey! Oh, Mazuong tệ thật.
That's how you went around.
Yeah. I thought that Mike had done what he needed to try and provide all the information for his team. Got past the alarm bot when it was down from Muzz. But Noz has just come out shooting.
It's not an information game, Dion. It's about killing your opponent. And Noz is very good at that.
Yep, that's true.
Bada bing, bada boom. That's how you win around, guys.
Hay vãi, sao làm được như thế? Xinh
No, if
vía.
I pull utility out, I can't shoot the enemy, and we'll lose the round. All right. Tell him Mac sent ya, and look, Coach Mac, he's always right.
Very good. Utility though is going in this time, and Exerst has one more blade left. That's missed. His teammate will get the kill, which he gets to steal a Vandal away from. So I think you're still okay with how that one's turned out. Let Amnesty grab the orb, and you'll be able to run in with the Seekers, but it's the showstopper to actually try and get in first if you're not bopping your noggin on a wall.
Yeah, MK2. One hasn't gone well for him. Ooh, I thought that was almost taking Mazuong out, but he will survive on 24. And everyone's here on site having a party for Edge. They will be able to make their way back towards that grass side. But Bobo all here, all tucked, all ready and waiting to try and make a retake happen from heaven. But it looks like they want to pick. And Edge aren't giving him a thing.
Yeah, Paint Shells, Horn. You got a Seize in the mix as well. Not combined to try and find Lubit there, unfortunately.
That time's really ticking away, and Bobo is still going for this one, hoping that the shots can do it. But Edge pushing through it. Adversity dealt with, and Mike as well. Little lurk behind Mazuong to close out a 9th. So Bobo, full reliance on Noz for the previous round, but Edge, they do it as a team this time.
Yeah, tit for tat Valorant gameplay coming through at the moment. No one can gain a clear lead, but maybe it's the time for Bobo to try and extend it because they're close to a couple of these key ultimates right now. What sort of game plan do they have on this defensive side to halt the proceedings of Edge or just try and eliminate them? A change up this time. Having Noz over towards the C side of things, some Killjoy utility in B, acting as the 6th man. Meanwhile, you got that dark cover and the Horn combination again. So Edge are just going to wait it out. They can look to utilize all their abilities when the dark cover does fade. Again, Trailblazer try and clear close. You've got the paint shells that can be ripped if you need. A little Prowler will give some good information. Bobo all around the lobby. And they're pushing up. They're holding W.
Pushing and trying to go in with the flashbang, but it doesn't quite work.
Anh Cúc.
Lubert will take back the tree control. But where to from here?
Yeah, you're kind of back where the round started, all things considered, right? You just got no flashes, and they're kind of required to get some information over at the C site. Instead, they're going to use from the shadows to see if anyone is on the back of site.
Snake bite on the choke just to try to punish anyone sneaking in the smoke. And MK2 going to be the point man. Noz wants to swing on the contact. You can see him waiting for that to be taken. And oh, it's the double satchel across. He's moving too quick. And Noz and Muzz, they both will fall.
Well, that's a way to get back into the site, for sure. Now the sprays through the dark cover. MK2 wins that one. It becomes bad to worse for Bobo for a retake.
Hay quá ha. Kiểu spam mà vẫn dính rồi á. Sao người ta có thể làm được như thế? Sao biết vậy?
Slinking in. Still going for it, still thinking about it. Oh, MK2 gonna get caught jumping. Is he gonna regret that? Mazuong as well, gonna be spotted on a nice line. Mike was holding. Oh, and Crunchy, he's not fine either. Edge, they'll take that lead, 10-9. And the map, 3 rounds away.
Well, that's breaking the streak of the tit-for-tat gameplay, right? Doubling down. We saw that on their attacker side so far from the pistol in the second round. Although, there might be some investment from Bobo behind these ultimate abilities. We've seen some aggression from them with the Dark Cover one way and the Prowler up over at the A side a little bit. You know, we saw similar A proceedings from Edge, right? They took it on their defensive side for a couple rounds in a row. When they took their foot off the gas and no longer took the A control, that's where Bobo were able to steamroll and plant A, win these rounds. So now we're kind of going to maybe see a similar thing. Edge is seeing no aggression from Bobo over here. They're going to scale up. They're not going to potentially go into tree where there is a double stack of these Bobo members.
Bobo take tree. Oh.
Found them.
À, thì ra là được ở đấy.
Paranoia through. And there's a lot of vision still here. It makes it really hard for Mark II to get in. Mark II, MK2.
Well,
unfortunately not too good in that situation.
A Vandal's secured as well. And this is looking a little bit unfortunate for the Edge members. That's a secondary Vandal given over towards the forces of Bobo. And there's no locations that Edge really have secured. Even though Exhaust is in the A site, there's no one that can help him in tree.
Oh, okay. That's working. That's looking damn good. Noz, though, going to be able to trade real swiftly for 3 for the round, but it can't be all him. The others have to do it up against Lubert. Can he make it happen? He's got a knife out. He's looking at the wrong direction. You can't shoot when you got your knife out, King. And Bobo, they'll make it work with a thrifty thanks to Noz on that triple.
Yeah, it's tucking away at the tree, in the tree. When the door opens and he's got his teammate to pop a Molotov that he can swing out and save Muzz. Really just heads up decision making to make sure he doesn't leave his teammate out to dry. He threw a Molotov of his own as well, the Snake's Bite, but that wasn't really needed. Good repositioning as well. You know, if you think about Zork in that scenario over at the C door, if he loses his life, that's a way for Edge to potentially leave Exhaust on the A site and the rest of their forces to maneuver to the C site to get that plant. So there's a lot of these key pivotal moments in a couple of these rounds that are really big for the outcome of them. And this time out is actually going to be quite the important one for Edge to settle things down and have a bit of a game plan. Losing a thrifty, you've got cash behind yourselves. You've actually got a couple of ultimates coming online in the potential next round or the round after. So for right now, the immediate scare factor is going to be that Bobo have a couple of these ultimates. We do not. How are we first counteracting that? And then secondly, if we somehow manage to win this round and the next round, we then have our ultimates to close too. So it would actually be really large for Edge to convert on the back of this timeout. And to almost win it with Bobo using their own ultimates. I'm wondering how much of an investment Bobo are going to throw over to this A side of the map. Zork is there with that Nightfall available. Unfortunately, Mazuong doesn't have anything but the paint shells that he might be throwing with a C's combination here. There's the C's, there's the paint shells.
Oh, Crunchy has been taken out almost every single time they've gone for that play. Yet he keeps on pushing the point. And Edge were very much ready for it this time. They've gone all the way towards that beacon. And we'll need to do some recon back at A because no one's on site. And Edge, I don't know where they are.
Yeah, 4 versus 4. You'd say, you know, no smokes available anymore for Bobo, but technically they do still have Noz available with the wall. If it does come to a retake, no one can be further deeper than that. But it does go down back to the silence mark. A minute on the clock. A big pivotal duel for Mazuong. Ends in the 1-to-1 trade. That is the A site open for business. So Mike is in another postcode, opening the now C to B door. And it looks like they're going to collapse in towards the Bravo site here.
Amnesty. Ooh, okay.
Oh my god.
Couldn't get his gun out in time and Noz free Mike, mate. He's had a stellar start to the game and we'll be able to deal with that KJ ult. Lockdown destroyed. The spike is in the sights of both of these Bobo members. What do we got? We got one snake bite. 20 seconds. There's another snake bite. I guess he can.
I have retrieved the spike.
Oh, snake bite a little late, and that's been a misplay. But with the time, he wants one before planting. Oh, and he's not going to get it. But he does have the space to stick.
Nhanh lên, hai anh ơi. Ủa, không phải là trong lúc đặt spike thì nên ra bắn hả?
Neural theft on, still living there. Oh, and he knows he's getting swung by both.
Oh,
that was the line, that was the shot, that was the chance. But Mike, it's gone fleeting.
Nice try in the end. You know, you're seeing his utility at the bottom bar there, and you see that he's got the trap wire, but crucial seconds to retrieve the spike to try and figure out how to plant when there's 4 open angles that Bobo could come from, right? And he's only cleared 1 over towards the breakable door. It does make for a bit of a difficult time. They play together. They give him the respect of the plant. Unfortunately, they don't line up. If he got that clutch, it would have been massive for Edge. But now the round goes to Bobo. They're 1 away from securing 12. There's again a couple of these ultimates still available for Bobo. We haven't seen them yet for Edge. And unfortunately for the attackers right now, they've gone into this gun round a little bit lacking. Some Bulldogs, or rather 1 Bulldog, Guardian, and a Judge for MK2, who is 1 away from the Showstopper. You can get into the site with that ability, or use it in a post plant, which it looks like it might be feasible. That could be pretty good.
Nhiều thứ vậy.
Awkward moments here, Zork.
Đây là
Not gonna be able to win that one. Exhaust just
gì
standing
vậy?
through the corner, gets the wall bang eventually, and Mike has dropped the ball.
Bắn sau lưng khó thật,
That
bắn sau lưng khó
could have
thật.
given him the man advantage, but he's unfortunately
Không
whiffed.
đùa.
Something that you don't see Mike doing regularly.
How do they get the plant down now, though? No smokes, it's just the duelists. If it is MK2, there will be a showstopper online, but you can see the respect that, again, Bobo are giving, playing deep. They don't want to give him an opportunity to bring it into a 2 versus 2, or even when the plant goes down, to just give them that option again of an advantage. So some info, though, up towards the heavens that Exhaust is there as the spike's planted.
Shadows traveling.
Good smoke.
Not bad at all. MK2
Con ra
trying to find at least 1 hit. He's gone right out in the open. And Exhaust is going to be snake bit off. Spike not planted for him right under the lip there. And Nos just waiting for the dark cover to disappear. That's 12. Bobo. They can taste it.
Yeah, 1 away from the victory here as well. But a lot of those ultimates that I was saying as a bit of a scare tactic that they could use in that round were played. Nightfall, a pit's gone. Mazuong with a showstopper might not get it in towards this round. It could definitely be the decisive blow in the next round if Edge are able to hold on. Again, the lesser weaponry, we didn't really see too much come through from MK2 with that Judge on the entry. The showstopper, yeah, got its way in, but it wasn't used for the entries. It was kind of used as a last-ditch attempt to bring it into a winnable scenario. Bladestorm will be in here, Vandals and Phantoms around for Edge, and a bit of a different look for them as well. Some seaside scaling with some quick pressure going on. Nos is currently there with Muzz.
Poison's off.
And there's a flank as well. That's, well, actually, there's no flank happening.
Yeah, Bobo playing safe. Playing around the KJ util on C and B. And they seem to be relatively happy to play retake
Đang bắn luôn đấy, tập trung và bắn rồi một cái.
Not getting too big for his boots. And he's got a helping hand not far away with Zork.
Yeah.
Connect that.
Zork will have his Haunt available soon as well, so if he does choose to use that back over towards A, might get some early information. It's actually online right now. Or they could technically just hold it in for a retake. They see all this utility coming towards A. Mazuong dispatches of Mike over at B. And this is really split to come through from Edge at the moment. Exert trying to do what he can with Bluebit.
Ok, stream bị delay à, đúng không?
Yeah, a little bit unfortunate there, but it is what it is. And Zork won't get his job done. Edge don't have the numbers, but they will potentially have that B side if they walk back through. They just need to make that decision. Mazuong going to be hiding it.
MK2 lost his life as well over at the C site earlier, so it's only really one-dimensional into the B site, Mac.
There's at least 1 here. Muzz is going to make a bit of noise over towards that waterfall connector, and a big flank coming through from Crunchy. He's gone towards B main. And Edge, they just need to make sure at least the spike is planted, which it will be. Lubert falling makes it harder with a 2-man disadvantage. Amnesty has to fight his way out of this one, but the Cloudburst allows them to just push on forward. And that'll be the map. 13 to 10. Bobo extremely happy with how that one's gone.
Thôi, bây giờ xong một round rồi, mình đi đây.
Yeah, they do. If they want to win this in a 2-0. I mean, you're always going to have the saving grace that there
Tớ
is
không có
a
like
game
á.
in a best of 3, but you never want to rely
Hôm nay
upon
tớ
that one. You want to try and get the two-way
cái
fashion. And I think this
cái
was a
kênh
good
của
warm-up
Mazuong thôi.
of a map to come through from Bobo as well, right? We saw some good things, some good aggression on the attacking side and the defensive side from them. We saw some really good things to come through from Edge too, so they shouldn't be too disheartened with how they played this map. A couple of thrifties to come through, a team ace as well, some good retakes, some good post plants. So you've got little bits and pieces, you know, to build this puzzle, but it just feels like you're missing just one or two to finish it up.
Yeah, and look, unfortunately, they didn't get there, but it felt like Bobo weren't really playing up to par for a lot of that first half. So once they managed to figure it out, they got it done in the second half.
Khi nào
You
về
can't tell
về
me
đi
that
tính.
Lotus, a map with 3 spike sites, is still going to be defender sided. Like, man, that needs to be attacker sided. It's just hit the way that the game works. That should be how it is. The rotations are so long. They are so long on Lotus. It's the same as what Haven used to be. And I'm keen to see what we can see from both these teams on Ascent, because it's a much more balanced map.
Yeah, I mean, you talk about the stale nature of Ascent as well, with it being the same agents and it's a mirror match and how long it's been, we want it removed and everything. Yeah, there's always going to be a discussion for that. But Ascent is the true tested map that if you're going into this one with the same as your opponents, it comes down to who is better. And that's what we're going to see in the next map. But right now, Mac, Noz, the MVP for Bobo, coming out huge. 26 kills at the end of that on that Viper.
Yeah, lots of those rounds. Definitely his fault, of course. Fault in a good way. You know, you saw that 1v4 that he won, and then you also saw the other times where he was getting many multi-kills. Edge, however, look, the few of them showed up, and I was really happy with what we saw, but unfortunately it just wasn't enough to get them across the line on map number 1. But we got a second one to get to, and that's coming up just after the break. See you after this.
I got this.
Khi nào mới bắn tiếp vậy mọi người?
Introducing the new and improved Let's Play.live. New look, new feel, new tournaments. Play and compete in dozens of esports tournaments from Open Division to Pro. Check out our new platform at Let's Play.live.
Ok, trong thời gian chờ đợi tớ xin tặng mọi người một bài. Mọi người biết con chuột lang nước không? Con capybara ấy. Nhưng mà tớ không biết hát đâu ấy, hát linh ta linh tinh ấy. À, có thời gian 3 phút à? Ok. Em cũng biết nhảy TikTok đấy, đùa. Em có kênh TikTok đấy, nhưng mà không bao giờ up video thôi. Hội người hướng nội Việt Nam. Biết nhảy TikTok mà, để cho coi. Mình có nhảy TikTok rồi ta? Cam to lên á. À, để cam to lên thấy không xinh nữa, thấy xấu quá mọi người ơi. Mắc cỡ. Ồ, tớ up ảnh thôi á. Ngại lắm, up video ngại. Nè, nét tính bé hơn. À, lỡ tắt luôn rồi. Tớ có nhảy TikTok á, để tớ cho coi, nhưng mà không cho nick TikTok đâu. Mắc cỡ. Như đấy thôi, không cho tên đâu, ha ha. Để tớ bật nhạc. À không, không được bật nhạc không nhỉ? Con để nghe tiếng ngắn dài. Ngại lắm. Chị ơi. Như vậy mọi người. Hả? Vụ gì vậy? Chuyện gì vậy? Out beta rồi. Không bật canter lên, tớ thấy tớ bị xấu ấy. Không cần xinh nữa, để bé bé thôi, nhìn xa xa thôi là xinh rồi.
Ticks leaving towards scars and then Ninham going off as well. So the Ross has been through a lot of changes recently. Group stage is pretty comfortable. Besides maybe one map against Arcade, as I think they dropped 40 on Breeze, so Arclam had a game of life. Otherwise, we had a fun time and an easy time, I reckon.
He's kill hungry. He's going in. He's looking. The movement's fine. The kills are coming together.
We're not concerned at all, as we know how to play.
Này
We're
là
good enough to
xíu lại mấy cái
compete,
trước
and
à?
we're gonna smash it.
Đúng không?
So
Highlight
it
à mọi
doesn't
người?
matter. Of course, you want to compete to the best, so you want to sit there and take it seriously. But you also want to have some fun with it, because if it's not fun, there's no point playing. So we're all enjoying our time because we're all mates. So it's all good.
The shot distraction bit there. The flash is all right. Oh, but teleport, but he heard it, Noz!
We don't have a coach, but then we sit there and just listen to our RGL Noah, and then we just sit there and
Anh biết
do
sao
what he
em
does,
không
or
biết
does
setting
what
á.
do what he tells us to do.
Hôm qua
So
ba
I think
Vương
it's
phải
no problem.
setting cho em á, bây giờ em không biết phải làm
We've been
sao
using
với
it
cái
more
này á.
recently. I think they're really
Em
valuable.
chỉ có
Say if you start
hôm nay em
with a
chỉ
problem,
có
you're not
việc
sure what to do, you
bật
can sit there and
livestream
work it
và
out
live
in
thôi.
the
Hôm
space
qua
of
ba
a
Vương
minute,
đã
and then you can figure out, okay, their side's weak, this side's even weaker, let's go hit it.
đổi cái size đấy ở đâu ấy nhở?
Because with time running out, it could be enough, and it's all he's needed. Even Noz shut it down, 14 to 12, and Antics survive.
So right now we've got no pressure. We're gonna go.
Thôi đi,
we're gonna play
thôi
our game,
anh
and
đi.
then we're gonna see what happens.
Gì vậy trời? Lo mà bắn cái game 2 cho Queen đi đi kìa. Đây rồi. Let's go.
Welcome back,
Ủa?
ladies and gents. We got Ascent
Chưa
to
hả?
delve into, and I can't wait. Let's load in, eh?
Là sao
Yeah,
nữa?
I'm expecting a mirror match to come through
bây giờ
in
bắn
this
chưa?
one as well, so I don't really foresee anything big and different. We're not getting a mirror match?
Streamer một thời, và thời đấy tớ cũng được mấy anh chị trong công ty setting cho.
I clicked my fingers. I thought we were gonna go
Không
straight
biết
into
setting
Ascent.
đâu. Oh my
Apparently that's
god.
not how it works. I don't get my hands on the button anymore. That's an admin's job.
Tớ tên
I'm an
Thư.
admin. I'm just a caster.
Cast to start the
Đây
game.
là Minh Thư.
Caster start the game. We love
Mọi
Ascent.
người hay
I'm
gọi
keen
tớ
to
là
see
Việt.
Ascent. I'm keen to see the change up
Cute Pro VIP.
that you mentioned and see what that kind of spice is. The only change up that like kind of was a nice little synergy in the past, which
Đây, pha này
started
ảnh
to come through. This is
cúc
back
đây.
when like Fade came in, right? Was the Fade
Yeah.
Raise combo. You get that nade suck and it just works really well.
Yeah.
Sometimes you could do a similar thing with like an Astra, but it just feels like Omen and like the verticality and the couple of things you can do. Fast rotations with the From the Shadows was pretty solid. on
Mọi
that
người có
Black
thể
Ascent,
gọi tớ
but
là Vịt cho nó thân thiện.
When we look at this, I was kind of expecting that the upper stage and the open qualifiers for this roster of Edge, they were experimenting with a different roster, right? Agent lineup, not roster, agent lineup. You know that there are teams that kind of push the boundaries when it comes to Ascent, and they do try to run different agent lineups. You know, I mentioned previously, we sometimes do see some Cypher breaches instead of the Killjoy KOs, right?
Em chỉ xuất hiện hôm nay thôi á. Em sẽ trả lại kênh livestream này cho Mazuong vào ngày mai á mọi người. Sorry mọi người vì sự bất tiện này.
I hope not personally. I think that Ascent is at the point in this game where we've got the meta kind of figured out for this map, and if you're not running that one, you're kind of playing at a disadvantage. I'm looking through it right now, and Edge did lose to GG How on this map. 13-9 running their different agent lineup.
Khều like đi chị. Khều like á, phải khều like hả? Mọi người ơi, mọi người nhớ like, share và subscribe kênh của Mazuong nhé. Phải khều like hả mọi người?
The remaining 3 are the same. So it'll be interesting how Amnesty uses
để hôm nào Mazuong về Việt Nam á, tớ sẽ dụ Mazuong livestream cùng chẳng hạn. Chứ tớ không có like á, không có like ở đâu hết á.
Yeah, well you got that double duelist, right? And the potential to have the extra sustain with the Reyna. I swear, like her blind is not really that much of a blind because it dies in one shot now or something. Well, it feels like it dies in one shot.
Bây giờ mình bắn map Ascent à?
Yeah.
Map này nhà tớ ấy, biết con kêu cho liền. Biết lóc con kêu cho liền.
Coming around the corner without really getting blind. It's more of like a crosshair mover than anything. And you just gotta. It's one of those flashes that you gotta swing with instantly for it to have any impact, unless someone's trying to be sneaky and just not shooting it. And, weird one and done spot and get cleared. That's what I'm thinking when I see it.
It's one of those ones that if you see it before it pops, it's not necessarily dodgeable, but it is very quickly adjusted to.
Phải chơi kill try thôi á, phải chơi kill try thôi.
Like Bobo, playing in the ranked queues, you know how to kind of counter a Reyna.
Chắc anh biết hồi nãy mình kêu là mình muốn học chơi con
They don't know how to at least attempt to counter a Reyna in this map.
Well, let's see if you're right about it having to be a faster style of gameplay, and so far we are straight up the guts, looking to split into B.
Yeah, but Mike and Amnesty are pushing in towards the main side of things. There is a turret overlooking them, revealing information.
Oh, there's that pick.
Tên mình màu gì?
Mazuong, he's gone. And Mikey boy is still going to be able to get that reload off. Not again, not again. The Sheriff God finds 3 this time, not quite the 4th. Oh, crosshair going a bit everywhere. And Mike's still low, but still living and still fragging up a storm. And Bobo, looks like they want to fight before getting this one planted. It's a nice open plant here towards the stairs. The paranoia will go forward, but the defenders will not follow. And Mike, it was great patience, and Zork has no shot at dealing with that many coming around the corner.
Yeah, big pistol round to come through from Mike. Really good work, I guess, The turret plays a little bit of a factor into that too, with being a distractor onto Bobo, tagging them up, slowing them down for the Sheriff shots. They still need to get hit at the end of the day. I was expecting the aggression from Edge. I probably still expect that when we change sides and they get on their attacker side. The defensive side, it would be a bit risky for a double duelist, one with a Reyna to go for those early peaks. But if they're going to let Bobo come to them and they've got the crossfires, they've got the utility in the right locations, they adjust accordingly, they don't overextend in a 2 versus 4 either, then the defense should be kind of okay. And that round just shows us that. Into the new one, getting a couple of Vandals, getting some upgraded pistols.
Muốn không á? Wow.
Okay, there's a Bulldog there. This is ambitious from Amnesty and Lubit.
Smoke one way nữa à? Sao mọi người hay smoke one way thế?
Well, they are going to get flashed off instantly. Lose that control, the one way. Will at least isolate them. Ooh, drone. Almost allowed Bobo to fight, but it will send Edge back to sight. K2 playing a dangerous game, spots that jiggle. And the A site still on lock for the moment, but Bobo have at least fought for main.
Oh.
We'll see how Bobo attempts to plan the assault on this one though. because you can get your flash, your smokes in from Crunchy. You got your dart from Zork. You got a 0 point for Noz as well. But apart from that, Mazuong does not have that dash, so everyone's going to be kind of running in at the same point in time, and the duelists are expected to kind of just rapidly shoot from edge here.
Connecting eventually. Lubit in the corner.
30 seconds
Sneaky
left.
position. Finding some value out of the ghost. And these dark covers constantly being played around. Muzz just with a classic, hoping that he can make his way in. Doesn't use too much of that utility. Could have the turret to maybe make mincemeat of these ones, but it looks like Muzz will get that 2-tap, but at range, the classic fails. And that is Edge with 2 quickies out of the gate.
Yep. 2 done and dusted, surviving with a good amount of players as well. Just seeing that the... who was it that actually died there? Lubit and Amnesty. So just the one pistol carrying over into this new round. So there is, you know, a pretty decent defensive structure available actually for Edge in this one with those Vandals.
Bên đây cũng có chết. Nhưng mà chết của
Kind of
người
seeing
màu
what
đỏ đúng
Bobo
không?
are going to be looking like. Again, a little bit of emphasis on
Rối
this
quá.
A main control. You'd be expecting the 0 point to go in or the flash drive. There's no one-way smoke going up, but there is a paranoia comes to the members. Mazuong for MK2. Now it will go unanswered in a trade too. So for the time being, Bobo with a good advantage. Bit of a main pressure, bit of a main pressure.
Ooh, I
Good
like
one.
that. Where was that eye?
I think he put it in the window.
Yeah, right. Sat perfectly. Gaze down below. Got that tag up, and Zork marked as well. We'll wait that out before pushing. Paranoia invested to try and get close. Prowler slows them for just long enough, and the second dark cover towards defender spawn will stop that drone from seeing anyone. Oh, and it's Mike alone just to keep on pushing in, finding 2 out of there, dealing with the recon, and allowed to get a reload off like that. Nah.
And providing time for Lubit's flank as well, but that has been expected. Now it's all going to be down to Noz. 1 versus 3. Mike on for big old Hunt.
30 seconds left.
Mình màu đỏ.
And he'll get the 4K in the end.
Hey. Thought Noz was on again, but he's not.
Ê á? À không phải.
3-0. Good conversion of the bonus round for Edge. Can definitely propel them on this map to a great defensive-sided stronghold. You've got the lockdown now available for Mike. That is definitely unanswerable by Bobo's.
Ủa, cái anh này, anh ở giữa không bật cam hả mọi
They've
người?
got combination of utilities that can be held for a post plant if Bobo somehow get in towards one of these sites. Otherwise, you know, using it to kind of stave them off from getting in the first place means you don't really have it for the next couple of rounds where it could be quite paramount. Mazuong though, start off again onto MK2. Peeking it short, ill-advised.
Tớ chưa xem được fan đấy, mình tua lại fan đấy được.
Take flight.
Drone him up tree. Amnesty falling back. You could see Lubert was thinking about dropping some of that utility, but they go towards a main with it instead, just to make sure they're not getting split upon. Man down. They need to try and make a move somewhere, and that's over towards B main. So Exerst, at least getting some B main information, will allow Mike to cheat back towards that A side.
Yeah.
And he's got that lockdown to play with.
Only a single dark cover for Lubert. It's going to have to drop that rapid fast. But apart from spraying, there's nothing that Edge can actually do to stall Bobo from getting into the site. So this is where you might expect the lockdown to actually be utilized, and it does get dropped early. No spike yet down.
Ô, sớm.
Rapid spray
À
is
không,
coming
tên
through,
mình màu
missing
đỏ
the
mà.
marks. Spike is planted. Lockdown's going up.
Yeah, dropping the ball there.
Oh, no.
And the lockdown will get the detainment onto Zork. No one holds him, and that spike plant is still open, but in a bit of an awkward position, and no one's going to be able to stop it. Initially, the half tick comes through, and Muzz now, a sheriff, a dream, and he's gone onto the wrong side. There ain't no shot that he's stopping this one now. Exerst double taps him. 4 kills up against Bobo on pistols. He'll take that every day.
Yeah, it's one of those things as well as Exerst having both of those cloud bursts. He could have technically dropped them over towards main, or maybe even more importantly dropped it onto the spike for his teammate for a little bit of protection, so his body's not directly viewable to the sheriff shots coming his way. But holding his crosshair true, we'll find the kills in the end. 4-0 for Edge. Another gun round now to come through from Bobo. Attempts at A main, attempts at mid, attempts at B. We've seen it all from them so far. None of them have worked out, Mac. This time facing an operator in the hands of Exerst. KO noted over at top of mid, but a wide swing out from Mazuong. Again, sensational in these opening kills. That's 3.
Let him cook.
And that might have just given Bobo their round.
Mình có rửa chén á.
This drone.
One enemy remaining.
Ooh, ace!
Might have been able to snatch one away. He just gets pumped in the face. And Mike, mate, you have a big job ahead of you, but that's a good way to start the 1v5.
Did you hear the story?
Xui thôi.
And Bobo,
Xui thôi.
I thought they were going to group up. At least 3 going to site. Still waiting for Crunchy. Big Mike won't get past the 3rd hurdle, unfortunately.
No, unfortunately not. Would have been huge for Mazuong to find a 4K and then to answer back with a 1v5 of your own. That would have been something special from Mike, but you win some, you lose some. Bobo around on the board, finally, couple of ults to be able to use as well. Back towards the B side, Killjoy setup for Mike. Again, standard turret to play Spotto. You've got the overlooking turret from Bobo as well. This feels to me like it's going to be a quick one in. An ult command off the rip, flashes out. Dark covers as well from Crunchy need to be pretty quick snap in.
Đấy, let him cook.
That's it. KJ just trying to stay far enough away for that util to be online, and it looks like most of it has been taken away nice and safely. So
Ủa?
it will continue to thrive.
Đi luôn hả?
Later on in the round, Mazuong just waiting for a dark cover push, but it ain't gonna happen. Mike snatches one across on the way to site, and they've managed to still have a 2-minute advantage for a retake.
Yeah, Hunter's Fury in from Zork if they do choose to use it, which fits early. It's doubled up. You're equalizing. You got info on Amnesty. Noz finds one as well. This is looking good. This is looking like a recovery from Bobo. Mazuong to close it down. A 3 versus 5. Does end with all 3 alive.
Ai chọc ảnh rồi, ai chọc ảnh giận lên rồi.
Crazy Hunter's Fury coming through there. The ultimates finding full impact, all of them that were utilized, and now you've got a Lockie just 1 away. So play for the orb, play for the lockdown, and Bobo could find themselves a free site. You're looking on the other side of things. Mike, look, if he pushes somewhere, maybe he gets a pick, maybe he gets an orb, and might be able to shut down the plans of Bobo. We'll see how they metagame this.
Need to be a bit of a risk from Edge in this one, wouldn't it? We saw them get dismantled up through mid previously, so let's see if this time it can work a little bit better to their favour. Bobo expecting that there might be a little bit of aggression. And the peek in. Mid open for opportunities. A dart in. A good reveal actually on towards Lubit. Dark cover to try and bail him out, which will do so successfully. So back towards the stalemate. This is where you have your mid-round decisioning for Bobo and where you want to try and go. The Killjoy turret again is going to be the piece of utility to give up a little bit of information that things might still be tending towards the B site. The drone should be solidifying a bit of that as well. So for Amnesty, with the single rifle in possession on Edge's side of things, needs to be finding some pretty sharp shots. We'll actually get backed up by Lubit. From the shadows as well, Mac. 40 seconds to go, and now Bobo actually deciding that they don't want to have B anymore. They might go towards A.
Let's see if it's the right choice. Mike can't stop him in the meanwhile. We'll just fire a couple of sheriff shots, hoping that maybe some fish in that barrel will get hit and Exerst. Ooh, won't hit either. Cloudburst gonna allow them just to jump on the side. MK2 gets one and the dismiss away. Ooh, blinding. Maybe this works out. They haven't planted yet. They've waited so much time, and Edge will flood before anything works out for Bobo. There's another thrifty, and oh, look at the upgrades.
Yeah, that's 4 alive from Edge at the end of that. Mike jumping on down, finding some sheriff shots. MK2 starting that one off as well, causing a bit of distraction. That's a very late rotation to come through from Bobo, and when you're rotating that late, you do not leave anything chance to go wrong, essentially. It has to go your way, it has to go right, because when it doesn't go good whatsoever. That is quite the upsetting round for them. And they have potentially just gone back towards B and contended with the from the shadows. Might have worked out better for them. The operator, though, for this round, heard. Already over towards the A side of the map. The turret, the paranoia for the contact swing. Is just going to be an exchange of utility from both sides at this point in time. And if Mazuong decides to string towards the tree, there will be an Odin. That actually has to fall back now.
Ooh, Prowler connects. We'll slow Bobo for just a moment. Shadow step across to keep it nice and safe past the Odin, and it's MK2 to take some names here. Exert's going to be able to find one of his own, and it looks like the double duelist setup is looking pretty damn good when they're hitting all their shots. Doesn't matter what agent you're on, it's a gun game, and if you hit those shots, you're looking pretty damn good, pretty damn hot. Amnesty to close, and Edge, they are doing well, more than enough to maybe even send us to 3 here.
Potentially so. I mean, if they continue on this trajectory as well, 10-2 is the best scoreline they can get for this half. So a timeout does come on through. You're expecting this one to be on Bobo's side. A discussion really needs to be thought out, and a pretty hard discussion as well. You lose the Thrifty, you lose your next round with the guns pretty convincingly. Yeah, you're going into the next round with probably an eco round as well, looking at the finance situation for Bobo, which means it should be 7-2. You've lost a lot of momentum into this map. Again, even some extra strategies for Edge in this next one with that lockdown, with a Nightfall that's one away. You're pretty happy with how you've played this map so far for Edge. You just got to continue to call these mid rounds quite nicely with some good rotations out, some good utility baiting as well. These plans that Edge are having for the B main control, for the mid push as well, for the peaks up short. And if they do find themselves losing any of those and they figure out that Bobo are going to A, the recipe for success is just collapse before they can plant because it's been working.
Ok, mình tham out xong rồi mình comeback đúng không mọi người? Phải comeback thôi.
It's a difficult one right now as well because you got that lockdown right, but if you rip it when Mike's got his and you don't have the Hunter's Fury online,
ở bên liên minh mọi người không kêu là time out ấy.
Might not end up going too well. Mike going to be tucked away in the corner. And Edge playing a 3-man setup on site already. Cloudburst is not working super far for Exert, but Mike is going to go for the full-on mop-up. That round's almost done already. Mazuong running away, spotted by the Prowler. He's gone. Big setup, big read. And Edge, they just stand, shoot, and deliver.
I'm putting a big stop sign in front of where Mike is. You just can't go. Not at all. It's red light. You should not pass go. Mike is not allowing anything past him at the moment. 17 kills in 9 rounds. A lot of great success for Edge so far on this map. Building up economy. You'll have buys for days. At least the remainder of this half as well. 10-2 is not a far-fetched scoreline for Edge if they continue to go this way. And now they'll be met with Bobo, who have another purchase, have that lockdown. We'll try and sneak in towards the B side potentially, or maybe not just that, rush on in, try and overwhelm the forces yet again, just to get the lockdown in. And I think that actually has to be reflected here.
Oh, Mikey, boy, how's he done it? Running. Welcome to Valorant, ladies and gentlemen. Amnesty gets one pulse off, and the eye allows him to hit that one. Little sneaky picks on the way to site. Bobo now has to fight with a 3v4. It worked before, so we'll see if they can keep it happening. Muzz, nice shot off the back of the flash, and it's great teamwork to bring it back to the 3v3, but they still need to finish, and they haven't done so just yet. Muzz going to be stuck over towards B main as everyone else on site falls, and now he has to walk through a dark cover. That thing still has a few seconds on it, and with the tap, he's got to move, but he knows he's in a crossfire, and you have to push. You just have to at some point, and unfortunately, he took too long. Edge established the positioning and denied him any chance at a round.
Yeah, it's a bit of blasphemy as well that Mike is able to just run and gun with a Vandal to take out Crunchy. You know, I'll be mad at that one, but I gotta say for Amnesty, the Haunt and the Odin Spray, the Nightfall as well, right? Because that hits the players on the site, they are immediately tanked down in their HP. A couple of bullets, you know, 1 or 2 will finish them off at that point in time, essentially. Muzz kind of has to peek out a B main to help the team at that point. When the dark cover comes down, he can't do anything. His teammates lose their life. Exerts has done well to find 2 in that mark, and a 1 versus 3, it's as you say, you know you're walking into a crossfire, but you know the spike is being defused. There's nothing you can do. Again, another great round to come through from Edge. They don't reset the finances over of Bobo, but they do essentially put it on the knife's edge that Bobo have to cut things nicely here. That's not a good start already. Just a trade to come out in this quick one up through
trong giải người ta cũng sợ 3 màu đen như mình.
Whoa, caught while throwing the util. Mazuong not ready for the offang from MK2, who just misses back to sight and is really impressing us at the moment on this Reyna, being real slippery, being real sharp, and just doing what you need to make Reyna work as an agent. And that's the thing, right? You've seen Reyna picks in the past, and they just fall flat. If people aren't playing well, if people aren't getting picks, then half of your abilities can't be used. But when you hit the shots, it works.
I think our favorite one in that one, Mac, is Jemkin. I think that's the really good example of when it doesn't work. And I think MK2 is bringing in an example of when it can kind of work right now. You know, Reyna is always one of those ambitious picks that you see with, I mean, kind of the top of the top attempts, right? Something like something from Paper X. But hey, he's doing what needs to work with the team. You're pretty happy with that. I mentioned earlier that against Gigi How, they were 13-9. Well, they found 9 now, and that's only been 1 half.
Well, big flash across the top, more of a set piece here for Bobo as they take A like it's nothing. And Edge are quite far away, but they're happy to play for the retake. They got Mikey with the lockdown. You've seen it before. And Bobo need to figure out how they're going to be doing this one. Looks like Zork will happily commit the Hunter's Fury to deal with that lockdown. It gets destroyed, but in the meanwhile, the Flood starts to come out. And Mike again. Oh! Has just run out of bullets, swapped to the secondary, and Bobo have a little bit of space to play with. Double under Balk set up, one about to swing off of the dark cover, but it's MK2 alive, and he's got a little bit of time to make this one happen, but he still needs to find where Nods is gone. He still needs to hit this shot under Muzz, but it ain't happening. Muzz gets that headshot with the Bulldog, and it's 9-3 at the half.
Yeah, it's a lot better than the 10-2. If anyone is superstitious here, 9-3 curse. Give us on that one if you're a Bobo fan, but if not, and you want this map 3 and Icebox to come into fruition, then Edge just need to kind of keep doing what they're doing. The shots are connecting, the plays are working, albeit that round. They still went in with a good crack at a retake though. Again, Mike just trying to really drag his team through the mud, and it is working. 20 kills, Exerts MK2, seeing great duelist action from them. Lubit smokes have actually been pretty nicely timed in where they're being placed around the map. The Paranoia getting in as well. I mean, he's on 10 assists, right? So even though the kills aren't there, he's still doing stuff. Amnesty with great seizures and great haunts too. So this Edge team, yeah, they're not going in with the meta comp on this map, but they're making work the comp that they are happy to play. And now we'll see if this attacking half will provide them any good results to close out this map.
Mazuong tucking away in pizza. As that sheriff, which can be troll, can be pretty good. So far has worked almost every single time for Mike, and he's really trying to fight here, but Caster cursed him. Sorry, mate. A-site on a plate, and Noz, going to be blinded up, but we'll still be able to find 1v4 falling there on the switch side. Lubert able to knock off Crunchy too. And now we're back to the 3v3. Amnesty won't be able to snag a second. Muzz had that armor, was able to live through the damage and the dart as well. Smacks Lubert down to half. 2v2.
Oh, yeah. He's going to have that recon as well. He can shoot that out. Essentially, you know now they're either in main or in hell together.
They found it. They've seen it. They know everything they need to, but Muzz can't knock them down, can't go bowling, and Edge get to the double digits with that pistol. Bobo might be thinking about a third map already.
Well, we'll see. We'll definitely see, because the attacker side around there going to Edge certainly does make this curtain a little bit closer to closing on Ascent. Still don't want to count Bobo out, even though you know, it's 10-3, you lost the pistol. If they can find this round, if they're forcing up, or the gun round when they finally do get that one as well, and start to make a really good comeback, could throw a little bit of a mental problem over towards Edge. Will it happen? Probably not. Good shot, Mike.
Going real slow here for the retake, just posturing together. Looking to fight against that double duelist up at heaven. Oh, MK2 gonna get caught running, caught spraying, caught damn blind. And Mike now just trying to stop that cross out of heaven. It's not going too well here for Bobo. Yes, they got that pick onto MK2, but Crunchy running straight through that crosshair is never going to go well for him. 11-3, and Bobo, they need to make a comeback right now, or this game's over.
Yeah, and that was a bit of a force up too there, so they have to take an eco here and play for the 12-3 that would come to be expected. Unless they're going to try and force up completely and, you know, try and get an upset. Otherwise the map is essentially gone because they'll just have the loss bonus that comes in their pockets. What are they managing to work? An Ares, a Marshall, Bulldog, and Stinger, and a Spectre. So we'll see if this force up is going to do anything. A quick A aggression from Edge doesn't bode too well for Bobo. There's only 2 members at this site. I can't use utility though at the moment, so good timing of the 0 point.
Playing for the orb. And going back the other way.
Yep.
See what Exerst do when he activates. If he activates Crunchy, might fall for free here. Oh, brother.
Ooh,
and that's fake info.
Yeah, little does he know that Exerst was still there. If he walked out another inch, he would have been decapitated. Now that info as well has kind of gone awry because Noz was still looking at this location and extend out. Crunchy's not protected. Noz pays the price. And this might just be round number 12 now for Edge.
Oh, no. Not like this. And Bobo, it's not looking super crash hot for him right now. They don't even have the best weapons to make this retake happen. Mike as well thins the numbers even further, and Mike surely he's got to be in question for the MVP here. Muzz, good luck, mate. At least gets himself a cheeky upgrade to the Vandal. 7 in the clip. Makes his way to heaven. Oh, the eye, and not ready for the advanced position from MK2. Great teamwork coming through from Edge here. All games so far, locking in 12, but not locking in the map just yet.
Yeah, I mean, when you look towards Edge's agent lineup right now, you are thinking that the duelists are going to do the lion's share of the work, right? But Mike has provided them so many rounds, just shooting, crosshair placement, positioning, crossfires with the team. This is looking pretty sensational from Edge at the moment. And again, another forced up buy for Bobo. It's not the greatest one. A lot of light shields, some lesser weaponry on those Guardians and a Bulldog. Not a single primary Vandal or Phantom. And we've not really seen this group around the B side of the map yet from Edge on this attacker's side. It's completely caught Zork off guard. Mazuong missing a couple of shots. And Mac, this is getting real rough.
Yeah, it's getting out of hand.
You should run.
Mike taking more names, put him on the tally. That thing's maxing the hell out right now. And the Locky as well, just trying to keep him away. Oh, this is looking like game set and almost matched. Noz, mate, you've got your first. 3 more to find. And arguably, there are a couple of low individuals here for Edge. So maybe there's a world, maybe there's a way. And the one that had health just died. So we are not done yet at all.
He's got to go in, though. This just serves to give away his location. Doesn't really matter about the utility at this point.
Maybe. And they're just going to play a nice solid setup. Good fundamentals. Amnesty surely swinging as soon as Lubert spots him, which is now 13-3.
Nice try. 괜찮아. Ding 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 ding.
I gotta say, I didn't really expect the map of Ascent, looking at the agent lineups from these guys going into it before thinking it was going to be this heavily one-sided. I know we were looking at the first map, Mac, thinking, all right, even though it was the 13-10 scoreline, we've seen some really good things come out from Edge. Carried that into map 2. Map 1 did not phase them whatsoever that they lost it would seem.
Yeah, just kept it together, and look, a different comp winning, I'll take that every day. A little bit of a change up, but this is what you were talking about. This is what Minnie was talking about, is like any team can kind of beat any team if they're having a good day. We've got a lot of sharp shooters in the region. And when they're bringing in comps that, you know, Bobo may not have been expecting, or at least not ready for, didn't prep for how the hell this double duelist thing operated.
Tớ không biết hát đâu. Tớ biết nhảy thôi, hát tớ hát tệ lắm.
And kind of stop you from going anywhere around the map. It just felt like he had his hands in every bloody thing.
Tớ biết hát bài con.
Yeah, heaps pies.
Heaps of pies. We love pies.
Bộ ngoại giao capybara.
You can even have them for breakfast. I believe it's called quiche. Maybe if you're a tradie, you can just have a meat one anyway. That's what I'm saying. But look, Mike, he's a tradie. He gets the ladies. Have you seen those biceps?
Không được đâu, sợ bị đánh bản quyền á.
13-3. I mean, you wrapped it pretty strong in this one, that's for sure. Now you kind of think towards, all right, it's a reset. Who cares about that map if you are Bobo? You're going in towards Icebox as the decider. And again, you know, another map that you look towards at Mac where you're thinking, yeah, there's a meta on this map. Both of these teams actually, well, as far as Edge is concerned, they're trying to define their own yet again.
I like
hồi đó em Mazuong cũng nói với em như thế, và là em mở nhạc sợ bản quyền thôi, và là không phải kê của em không phải sợ.
But look, we got to get to Icebox, and before you all melt away, we got to get to a break. So we'll see you on the third just after this.
I got this.
Tớ là ai á? Tớ là bạn của Mazuong thôi, không phải người yêu đâu. Tại anh Ngọc và anh Ngọc không like được ấy, đúng không ạ? Mazuong bảo thế, sau rồi Mazuong nhờ tớ like cho mọi người coi Mazuong bán giải á. Thôi mắc cỡ lắm. Làm tí nhạc á. Thế thì phải tắt tiếng này à? Tháng 7 về Việt Nam còn đi xem phim? Có! Đi! Let's go! Về ra lên! Let's go! Trời ơi, lo mà bắn đi, game 3 phải win nghe chưa? Là sao? Là sao? Phải win chứ. Phải win, buộc phải win rồi. Ba phút nữa. Đúng vậy, phải win map 3. Phải win map 3 Mazuong ơi. Thấy mọi người comment không? Không win là không có buổi đi xem phim. Không win chị đi xem phim với thằng khác. Trời ơi, nói thế lỡ Mazuong bị xuống tinh thần sao? Mình phải cổ vũ chứ. Nhạc thôi. Phải win á, buộc phải win á, phải win còn đi xem phim á. Búp cũng bình thường thôi, không nhiều lắm đâu. Fighting, fighting, fighting. Nhạc đâu á? Tôi quên mất. Nhưng mà sắp đánh rồi mọi người ơi. Sắp đánh rồi, thôi mọi người nghe nhạc, đánh giải tạm đi. Nãy giờ không ai nhắc gì luôn. Nghe nhạc giải tạm đi, cũng remix giật đồ đấy. Bạn nãy 2k view luôn. Mà giờ chắc mọi người giải lao rồi. Tớ lớn hơn Mazuong. Lớn hơn Mazuong đấy. Không nói năm sinh đâu. Em nói thật đấy. Nói thật đấy. Cho xin tên á. Tớ tên là Thư, Minh Thư. Ai xem lâu mới biết. Biết gì cơ? Không nói đâu. Không nói đâu. Biết lớn hơn là được rồi. Vô rồi. Đây rồi.
If you don't know, now you know. Who is better? Or do ya? That's the big question. Because we have two teams still going at it, and it's best of one territory.
Game này không có chiếu khúc ban bích hả mọi người?
The whole time Valorant's been out.
Không có ban thì không chiếu khúc bích tướng hả mọi người?
I showed Mitch yesterday Icebox. I showed him the window in Tube now, and he was astounded.
Yeah, it's been a little bit since he'd played Valorant. He still follows it, don't get me wrong. But, you know, when you've departed from it for a little bit, and Valorant is a game, unlike some other FPS titles and game titles that kind of regularly changes a bunch of their maps in the active duty pool, you kind of do need to stay on top of it a little bit, and unless you get surprised. Same with the agents, which is why having map rotations, you know, bringing in maps, even if they have slight changes, when new agents come out in the downtime of that map being in the active pool, always changes it up, which is why, for me, it'll be really exciting when, like, Haven comes back, or Pearl comes back, or Fracture comes back, because we've had a couple of different agents who've since those maps disappeared. They might actually play differently and have different metas developed, like we saw for Icebox when it came back.
Yeah, coming into this year, we got that whole like two-map rotation, which is interesting. You got Sunset and Breeze coming back, and everything else is pretty much A-okay. I feel like, wait, Icebox is different.
Lát nhiều pha tớ lát không kịp luôn, không nhìn ra đâu là bạn mình.
So Sunset came in, Haven went out, and Pearl and Fracture went out.
From when we last casted. Because like there was like a map pool swap in other regions, but we had like crap all for the last couple of months, so we didn't get to play like one or two of the pool swaps. It was just
chị được donate mà vẫn không chia cho chị đúng không?
Haven gone.
Hồi nãy trước khi bắn giải tớ có bảo là Mazuong là Mazuong gọi tớ bảo là lên livestream, xong rồi tớ bảo là tớ biết hỏi là lỡ người ta donate thì nhớ chia với nha. Thế không Mazuong để ba tớ trà sữa.
In
less than a year. That's a pretty speedy way to change. I don't know if we're going to get another one, you know, going into the next split. I'm sure we won't, because well, actually I'm not sure we won't, because it's bloody Riot, so we can't be sure too much. But either way,
không phải bên ba cũng phải bên Nam.
Clove, yeah.
Well, we'll see. Icebox, I mean, Yeah, I don't know really where to put my finger on the pulse. I'm expecting the same sort of agents to come through from what we know from Edge with how they've played it. They'll bring in the Reyna. Yep. So that's there. But we hadn't actually seen Bobo play this map yet as being one of the kind of teams to almost be invited with some slight changes. But they made their way through. And this is interesting. Can't beat them, join them.
Yeah, I guess that's it. We've got the stage pick coming through.
Mọi người coi bắn giải đi, không cần phải nghe tôi nói đâu, trời ơi. Focus.
It's a bit different, you know, seeing double duelist back
này
on
tại vì nó có tích rơi hết.
Double initiated, double controller has sort of been the meta for a little while, and look, I love double controller so much, especially with the Omen, especially on a map like Icebox, because there's a lot of verticality. And when you have that shadow step, when you have that option to, you know, go back to a different site after you've already put your wall down with the Viper, it makes things more fun, you know. And the same as if you go double initiated, then you got extra flashes, you got extra whatever, just to try to peek around the corners, clear out all the angles with your nice little lineups. But that's not what we're getting. We're just getting bloody bang bang, go shoot.
So I guess my question that I had before this series has kind of been answered, which is where was Crunchy fitting in towards this roster, right? Because we know in his previous teams he was always kind of playing on the controller Omen, wanting to do duelists. Seems like with how Bobo, previously Antic, operated throughout the course of the inception through the open qualifiers, he is subbing essentially one-to-one for how Chax was situated in this roster on the Omen, on the Reyna when it comes to this map here. So it is kind of nice to see that availability is there for Crunchy. But I want to see how he's going to be able to use the Reyna, because Bobo's starting on the defensive side here, Mac. Crunchy is around the action over at A, backed up by a couple of members. Now with the scaling up starting to happen from the side of Edge, the first duel will happen.
So look at how this one goes for the moment. Solid opening out of Mazuong. They are just gonna wrap back Edge.
Nghe dễ thương hẳn luôn á.
Haven't seen anyone with that bot controlling mid, and going back to long, just looking for this orb instead. And with the toxic orb in the way, they will be able to cross to yellow.
Yeah, but how are you going to try and get a plant down at this current point in time? If you are Edge, you're going to have the darts available for Zork, or 3 in fact. But that's the part. That's about it, really. There's no more damaging utility to come through from Bobo, so if you could try and bait them out, might make your job a little bit easier when you go for the duel. Wall will go down now, finally. Full toxins.
That was interesting. Lubit holding on to that one for ages. The timing of that one was a little bit crazy. MK2 not going to be able to live and not going to be able to get that top side control. 5v2 for the retake, and things get real down. Lubit falls, and this he's just got a classic. And he's low on bullets. That'll be that. Big retake, and no chance to plant. Bobo taking the lead.
Yep. 33% of the way there from the previous map, Mac. So on to a good start, getting the pistol around here in this, albeit best of 1 now, essentially.
Nice!
Takes the spot to play Zhishi Hao, if we look at it that way. We saw and heard earlier from Minimize that he wants to play Edge, so we'll see if that will continue to be a factor.
Here.
Keen to kind of see the differences that we get from Noz running onto the Sage as opposed to Mike on the Killjoy. Of course, Mike is such a destructive Killjoy player. There's a bit of a buy and investment from Edge here with these marshals.
Yeah.
And that echo out will signify that for Bobo, they know that there's a bit of a worrisome factor in this round. But do they know how close it actually is around A?
Ooh. Whoa! Whoa! No shot. Marshall not getting the connection off there. Not going to be able to get that opening. And it's just a couple of whiffs all across the map. But in the meanwhile, Lubert has timed this to perfection. Muzz going to show his hand up top. And Lubert trying to figure out how he can get this. Oh, that's a knife angle every day, mate. Do it for the content. Zork, crack a shot.
There's a plant.
Mazuong's got the sheriff, has the timing here over towards mid. It is damn good for him. Fights for everything. And just like that, Bobo look like they have completely mopped up.
Yep, 2-0. good start to this map as well. There was a bit of an investment from Edge, as we say, with those marshals not really able to do anything. If you're Muzz, you kind of okay that the rest of your team did figure out what they needed to do as well. You'll be requesting maybe a pistol from them come this bonus round. I actually want to see how aggressive Bobo are going to get on this bonus round as well, right? You've got that Sage wall. We haven't really seen Noz do too much. The amount of differences that you can use with the quick push, if you align that wall vertically, you can go up for a belt rush. And I'm already seeing a ping on the map. Feels like there might be some aggression from Crunchy up towards the A side with Noz. I think Noz is walling up Crunchy to go for the peak. This is going to be interesting. There's the force up for Bobo here too, so we'll see what these Vandals can do. Huge.
Aggro play, blinds. Oh, not going to scare him away too much. They're still here. They're still looking. But are they cooking? Can they get a late refrag? That's the big question. Mazuong still here, but he thought someone was helping him. No one's looking at all. And that'll be that. Back to the 4v4 we go, and things slow down again.
And I've just noticed Noz has actually done nothing so far this map. No orbs, no deaths, no kills. Currently sitting on 0 of those ulti points, but providing Crunchy with a good opener here. See if anything more can eventuate. There's a bit of a lurk at the moment from MK2. He's not able to find any more real space over towards the A side of the map. The drone should be revealing him, but there's going to be no pressure around it. So the A site right now, a little bit weaker for Bobo as Edge scale in.
Revealing area.
Dart on the back of sight. Can they find anything? No. Got destroyed instantaneously. Noz. Oh, pushing up into that slow angle. Pushing in through the wall. Big Noz, he does it again. Man loves a triple. But that's all he'll find. Zork coming through for the late trade and the W in the round. Bobo. 3 on the board.
Yeah, it's always going to be a scary factor when you decide to walk through a toxic screen and you take that vulnerability. You don't want to be walking into some sort of crossfire or some sort of position that you're not expecting to be pre-firing or challenging or flashing off or something that Valorant offers. That's exactly why. Noz doesn't really have to do too much in that sort of situation. Just point and shoot and you'll get the kills. So very well done from Bobo, surviving with a very large amount of their forces too. More importantly, winning the bonus here. And that's going to force a timeout to come out for Edge. Have a good discussion real early on in the map. They want to get the victory here. They don't want to contend with a lower bracket run, right? Again, the loser of this series will be going up against IPGN. And we already saw that IPGN kind of looked pretty good on Ascent with the 13-11. They were looking somewhat okay when it came to Sunset, but if you think about the team here, they probably will be banning Sunset, I guess. I mean, banning... Oh no, they can play Sunset actually. You could exploit Sunset against IPGN, so there's always going to be those thoughts too.
Yeah.
Yeah, there's a lot of options to consider in your research after this series. But for Edge right now, you've lost the pistol. Okay, sure. You lost the second round. Okay, sure. Yeah. You lost the bonus. And after such a commanding victory in the previous map, you've let it come to Icebox here. You needed to have a good discussion.
Crunchy going to have a bit of a powwow with the enemies who are lurking in the garage. Timing is beautiful for him. Won't be able to snag that second before he decides to dismiss away, or so he thinks. Amnesty making sure that he'll get that pick. He'll get his mitts on a nice little upgrade. When Exerster, meanwhile, jumps into the cloud burst, we'll be able to get that yellow control.
Mọi người ơi, coi tập trung ca giải thôi. Ca giải thôi.
Yeah, we'll see if Edge can get a plant at least. They have managed to secure themselves a Vandal for Amnesty, but that plant, it's going to be risky here with all Bobo members. Just lurking about.
Edge just cutting sound until they get spotted. Muzz walking straight into the line. Amnesty ready for another one. And they are just going one by one. This is no good from Bobo. Throwing around that they were very much in the driver's seat. Oh, Amnesty, he's on for the ace.
Through the wall.
They give it to him.
And the dart will go, and Mike will not let him take it, unfortunately. But great work to come through. As I said, Amnesty picking up that Vandal from the cold hands of Crunchy. Making it sing. That's a way to get back into this map. Winning the Thrifty, if you can try and convert the second rounds, you'd definitely, maybe be able to get back into this one real early on and make a fighting attacker's side. You've got a lockdown, you've got a Hunter's Fury, non-answerable as far as Bobo are concerned with their own ultimate abilities. So if you can get some forward space, you know, like pipes over at A or all the way up through the main wall at B, might be a world in which you can throw in that lockdown and try and secure yourselves around nicely. All the space being cleared. Just make sure the other side of the big old white box is also cleared. And then we'll see if they choose to use the lockdown here.
Slow approach. MK2, trying to play peekaboo, but vulnerable means he gets pumped in minimal bullets. Blind going to be going forward just to see who's where. No spike gets planted in the meanwhile. That gas is going to be regenerated. And Edge just playing real slow for now. Lubert, he's on 2 bars looking for that third. Slow towards yellow. And Edge won this round from this position last time. All they did was stand and wait, and Bobo sort of just fed him kills. So we'll see if that happens again.
Stand and delivered. That is what they did. Walls back up, back. Again, the Hunter's Fury available too if they want it. With a recon bolt goes out, destroyed. Lockdown still available. 30 seconds. There's start.
Vừa bỏ qua vụ gì hả mọi người?
There's the picks. And Bobo trade game is non-existent right now. Noz, what you got for us, big man? 1v4 brought to a 1v3. There's a wall there. There's a chance that there's 2 attackers ready to swing. Exhaust was maybe getting a bit big for his boots there. Ooh, goes up on top. I like this, but it's broken, so he'll have to jump around the corner. Makes noise doing so. Exhaust at the ready. Finds his third.
Tries.
Well, that's going to be 2 for Edge.
Yeah, able to convert that one without using the ultimates as well. So it feels like just settling themselves down, letting Bobo cook a little bit too much, and they've burnt it. So we're going to see a little bit of adjustments come out from Bobo when they get their gun rounds in the next one.
Vào co giải còn gì.
Edge, I mean, have they just figured out their rhythm to try and draw rotations over to the B side, park the brakes?
Tập trung co giải mọi người ơi. Đang căng quá nè.
By the looks of it, it's going to be a little bit of a different approach to begin this round with a little bit of some mid explorations first. Pistol's just the name of the game this time for Bobo, bar one Vandal in Crunch's hands. Has the Empress available too if he can somehow work some magic. Noz is quite stuck at the moment down mid.
Oh, quick flick. Awkward fight for Bobo to be taking, but they're going to try and commit to it anyway. Ooh, yeah. Snakebite bouncing off an angle that shouldn't exist, but it does. Weird hitboxes on those containers.
Now it's going to draw rotations back from Edge. I don't feel like they want to still contend over at the B site. Remember, those blades are still available for Mazuong. Zork's got the recon in effect now, so he can throw that back in if it does switch over to a retake. If Zork was somehow able to get an orb or a kill, that's also going to be a Hunter's Fury in a situation where it's you're looking at a retake.
Wow, Viper tiếp
There's
bự
a lot of
ghê.
options where you could choose to shoot that and find some great damage, albeit a kill. So with 30 seconds to go, now the jig is up. Things are eventuating over to this A side for Edge, and Empress has been popped. I believe that's, yeah, MK2's one. Crunchy still technically could if he wants.
Nice pick from MK2, goes back to the top 410 as Crunchy snatches another one away with the dismiss.
Hả?
The numbers strong for Bobo. Wait,
Thì
now,
mình
the
không
full
biết
lockdown,
cast
and now
game
is when they
thì
need to
mình
make a move, but Muzz
vậy
didn't have
thôi.
his gun out. And that's going to be a free pick for Amnesty. Mike trying to hold over the top now. It's MK2 to try to do it all himself. Gets another, has the dismiss, but it's an awkward angle. The info is there. Gets the gun out just in time. Huge 4K and a big round out of Edge.
Massive, absolutely massive to come through from MK2. The Empress essentially just permitting him a bunch of kills there. Rapid shots on towards Mazuong as well. With dash in, trying to blade down the opponents. MK2 to survive, you know, you imagine any other agent to try and do something in that situation has to be approached very differently. So very great, quick judgments from MK2. And another round permitted for Edge where you're all tied up. Yes, there is another gun round to come through from Bobo. A different look with an operator in the mix. It is positioned over at yellow. If it isn't sniffed out as well, it could actually be a bit of a nice opener for Bobo, though they've already lost Zork over in the window, actually, of the tunnel. Huge pick from Mike to start things off, and he might be looking for more with an overextension from Bobo out through the A side of things. Just the trades though, Mac.
Cut and sound. Mazuong in the meanwhile allowed to reaggress all the way towards yellow, but that seems to be pinged now. Edge aware of the possibility. Oh, that looked good, but you saw the tracer going off into Narnia. Mo's dropping the ult and hoping that he can wrap around in time. Crunchy, spamming, hoping that he can draw attention, and he's got more than attention. He's got the kill, he's got the bloody round. Muzz, well played. Great synergy between Crunchy and Muzz to get right back in and secure a fourth.
Yeah, you saw Muzz caught with a knife out in the previous rounds. Now Lubert's been caught out with his own and been taken down. Counter Viper's Pit as well to provide a little bit of that highlight action. But at the end of the day, it's exactly as you mentioned, isn't it? Muzz and Crunchy getting the job done to secure the round at the end. A little bit unfortunate for Mazuong though. Not able to try and make that operator sing. Now Edge know that it is in play. They're going to have to utilize a little bit more of their utility to try and figure out where it is. Amnesty with the recons.
Có cả line up trên đấy
Going to be a large factor to remove. Hunter's Fury real early in from Zork, real distant. Mazuong with the op though starts things off as we see all the recon bolts, rather all of the just regular bolts of that Hunter's Fury miss.
Unlucko Malacco. Late wall coming out here. Looking like they might just pump it on the first try. Muzz, crosshair in a solid position. But, the one way doesn't quite work as expected. And MK2 is going to be able to take their controller out of the mix. Now,
what was he seen?
Oh no. Crunchy blinding his way back forward. And MK2 lucky to be alive, getting that dismiss is huge for him. Drone just going to be trying to figure out where these Edge members are. Oh, Zork can't swing in time. Crosshair, unfortunately, poised in the wrong spot. And Mazuong now needs to try and hit the shot on two of these individuals. Wall allows them back to the safety of yellow and long. Let's see what he's got for us.
Should be unlosable for Edge when you consider that a recon will come online soon for Amnesty and there's a Hunter's Fury. Lubert doesn't really need to do too much in this scenario. Two snake bites as well can be ricocheted or jumping shot onto it. It has to be on a Mazuong to try and work this scenario.
Tapping, hoping he can get that one. Get the second, nice little flick. He's got the cloud burst, but he's going for the whole damn thing, man. You got to get that half tick, and unfortunately, the stick is not in question. Ooh, tailwind and cloud burst away. He should survive.
Got to run though.
But it's rough. It is a rough situation for him. He does have the operator. He snatched that on the exit. But it's 4 for Edge, and we're all tied up.
Yeah, it's pretty tight in this back and forwards affair now. That might come into fruition. We saw it on the first map eventuate, but the attacker side lately has looked pretty potent from Edge, just figuring out what they need to do around this B site. It's a site of success for them. This time they do look to change things up early on. Standard set of utility to be expected from Lubert, dropping the poison card in through mid. They want to contend with it themselves. We did see that there was a death in the tunnel earlier on the tube.
Không phải chết nhà
from
mình.
Edge. Look at the space that Exertus has already started to clear. It's going to be bringing out a lot of this utility from Bobo.
Tag comes through, and so does Hunter's Fury. But has it worked? Is it hidden? Doesn't look like it. It looks like the pistolas are going to get some work done. This may be a flop, maybe a rough round for Edge. And it's just Amnesty. We know that he's capable. We know that he's good. But a 1v5 when every one of the Bobo members except for Noz have just gone and got themselves the freest upgrades of their lives. This round's over.
Yeah. And even surviving with the Vandal is probably not going to do too much for you in the next rounds. Like Mike, Xerx, Lubert, they're fine. MK2 will be a little bit lesser. But even his position's just already being catered for. That's a flawless thrifty, essentially, from Bobo. Crunchy had a Vandal, I think, unless it was dropped after one of those earlier kills to then pop the Empress. But apart from that, the Sheriff's in the classic for Noz there, getting the job done. That's a round that needs to be reviewed at some point from Edge. Figure out where things have gone awry.
Tao chưa thấy địch ở đâu nữa mà chết rồi.
That certainly upset the balance of things in this map, however, because that's going to be forcing Edge into almost more of an eco round than a buy. They need to answer back essentially the same way.
Poison orb emitted.
Walls up. Droning in. And Noz just dropping a wall down to try to slow things down, but it's been seen behind that, it's been heard, and Edge know what's up, so they break it straight away.
Yeah, and the drone already being popped as well, so no longer usable for Amnesty. Meanwhile, there's currently no one actually surrounding the B site. You've got a real deep line being held from Mazuong. If you're expecting a normal wall to go down there, you would have had to play it a little bit differently, with the wall already cutting through the A site towards the screens, the essential standard A wall. It's going to allow Mazuong to have a little bit more free reign over at B. And again, just what Edge do well, Mac. They park, they stop, they wait to see any overextensions from Bobo. It's worked wonders previously, now it might again.
Wow! Ooh! Ooh!
Ooh, crispy shots. And Noz
Ooh!
just stands and holds the line. Snake bite.
Đỉnh
To
vãi.
assist. And Crunchy, he's never done. Look at him. Boom. Won't get the kill, but at least showed everyone how big his nuts are.
$20 seconds.
Time is ticking, and Noz really gonna be able to get out of dodge there as MK2 is trying to fight on the zippy and all the way to the backside. Lupin! Oh, it's not gone well. Oh, that was it. That was
painted
it.
him like the
Ủa,
Mona
mọi người
Lisa.
cái này là đang đánh
And he could not lock it down and secure it. That's
ví
unfortunate.
dụ như
I'm
mình
gonna blame
Queen thì
Crash.
mình
Crash,
được
you did him
giải
dirty, not
mấy á,
us, alright? That was your fault.
tóc mấy á.
Didn't mean it. Promise.
Well, that's 6 on the board for Bobo now, finding a little bit of stabilization on the defensive side of this half. This round again, it's you know, not gonna be too fruitful of a buy for Edge with how much they overcommitted in the previous one with all those Vandals, so it's a hodgepodge of a buy. Doesn't give good confidence that it's gonna be, you know, quite a successful attempt of a round, but we'll have to see. There's some trades, there's even then some.
Ủa?
Ooh. Connection through. There's a lot of damage done onto these individuals, and dropping that orb was the best thing they could have done. Spike found, big picks.
Bobo. Ok. Hiểu rồi.
Thinking about this one, Crunchy does, of course, have the Devour, which he can utilize, but he needs to get that pick or at least an assist. And Exhaust is in a nice little cheeky angle. Why has he
timing.
at a wall? Is that because he rezzed?
That is timing.
Wow.
But the wall's there.
Yep. Yep.
Unlucky.
Nice.
Unlucky.
Was it for the res? Maybe.
Yeah, the res happened, so he heard, he looked where it was,
Yeah.
and the timing of it was.
Cái
Let's
tham
just
viên
say
này tớ
tactical
biết.
out of Bobo. Let's say
Bị
it was-
mấy lần
Good
trong game là
impactful
biết.
res. Let's go, Noz.
Yeah, great chemistry, guys. That was all
7.
intentional.
7 on the board. Finally a buy for Edge. The past 3 attempts at a buy have been very scrappy. Definitely need to see something larger than charge come out from MK2. The Empress is available. You got Mike one away. You got Lubert one away. Who might you look to prioritize picking up the B orb, if anyone at all? There's a challenge here from Bobo yet again. Molly's in, op out. Someone breaks the eye. There's a drone. There's a wall. That's a good flick actually to hit the drone.
Not bad, not bad. Oh, over the top, keeps on going, but that Guardian gets the job done and the attention's drawn. Crunchy has not been seen. Oh, and he's going to be able to get at least 2, if not more. Lubert had his Vandal out, so he was able to trade, but Crunchy might have done his job here.
And then maybe the bonus pick comes out for Lubert though, and it can't be answered back by Muzz because he currently doesn't have one. If he somehow manages to get a kill though, he might be able to bring that online. Doesn't really matter when you got a player advantage. Play this together, Bobo.
Tucked in the corner. Time is against Bobo right now, and Noz has that wall. He's got those slows. He's got a lot of kit to get this done, but wants to just make sure someone else is making noise before he walks through that wall. And they're going to time it, swinging together. Nice trade. That's going to be pit right down. Mike needs to make it all himself. Oh, that Viper's pit ends up helping him out so he can take that one-on-one isolated fight. But unfortunately, he doesn't win it. And there's plenty of time here for Bobo to get an 8 secured.
Yes, sir.
And we're going to flip sides, end of the half.
Yeah, 8 to 4 is pretty good for Bobo. Nice little recovery when you thought that Edge might be able to start off this map, you know, pretty securely with that the bonus. Oh, the round after the bonus, the thrifty. But you got to say, you know, for all the chaos that Edge were coming out with the slow-paced nature over at the B site, I can't help but wonder, had they not gone in for 3 rounds of those, you know, I'll call them bad purchases, really relying on the people who invest in the Vandal to get the job done, not really too much of the rest of the team. Had they taken an eco and then gotten the full advantages of all the weaponry and played together as a team and stuff, might have turned out differently. Who knows? Who knows? I would have liked to see it. They've decided against it. Now we have to see Edge get the pistol round, get the second round, maybe try and attempt the bonus as well to answer back. And then we have a bit more of a defensive structure to come through from Edge, a bit more of a map where we get closer. Bit of a change as well with how some of these defenses is going to look as well for Edge, with Mike having that killjoy and Noz Sage for the attack.
To damage out, but no confirmed kills just yet. Exerst expecting someone to pump through that wall. The screen not going to be penetrated as we see Bobo slowly but surely walking away. Lovely shot. He's timed that perfectly.
Okay.
And also drawing all this attention. I thought Bobo were maybe just going to stay at A, but they're bringing the bomb. They're bringing everything and more.
How much does Muzz have on his toxins as well? Because the wall didn't go up just yet. Now it will when the plant starts to go down. It will be protected too. They'll be able to get out. Even that Sage wall.
Big pick, crunchy. Making more of a nuisance of himself, and even though there is this yellow swing, Mike, he's been so good on the pistol rounds, but he's been nerfed here on Icebox, and that is a lovely one out of Bobo. 4 alive at the end. 2 ghosts carried across, a sheriff as well for Nozzy Boy. Man, they got those secondaries, so bonus round could go well, but they need to get past this one first.
Không đánh game này mình sẽ biết nói
gì
gì rồi.
Mọi người hay quá. To see Edge find it to keep this map in a pretty close contention, but with it not going their way and a multitude of members surviving over on Bobo's side, you just have to take the knee in this situation. You almost just have to go for the eco to try and get you maximize gun rounds in this half. Edge forcing up, however. MK2 going full in, the rest of the squadron down to 1k. Only one member of the defensive side over at this B site. That's going to be Lubert, who has kind of missed a couple of shots today in this map and been caught out in the wrong locations. He'll just be dropping the toxins at the moment to try and buy a couple of extra seconds for his team. Plant will go down, and this should look to be a 5 versus 5.
Ooh, Mio might. Looking a little bit awkward to try and get off a site. That slow has not hit the right intended position, but Noz, regardless, going to keep on swinging. Him and Zork fighting for a dub, and the defender's going to be able to wrap around the shorty on Lubert's hands. Oh, has been pushed. Zero out as a knife instead. My man, that's rough.
Chưa win hả?
No chance to get the reload off. No chance to get the bloody round now. Mike dead. And that'll be that. Bobo, 10. And managing to do a decent job there in the second, but how's this bonus gonna go? I'd argue probably pretty good.
I believe that shorty was used a couple of times to try and break the wall, actually. I heard it when they were trying to get the plant and the toxins went down. I heard a couple of shots against the wall, so that's why there was 0 left. Unfortunate, really. Doesn't really matter in the whole shtick, because, I mean, Edge, they decided to force, they lost it. Shorty wouldn't have done too much at the end of it, you would feel. In this round, Mac, 5 light shields for Edge, going up against a pretty strong bonus from Bobo.
Mazuong. Crispy with it so far. Let's see if he can stop this push from Lubert, or if the off angle is going to pay dividends. I like what they're doing here. Just controlling yellow.
Bắn giải người ta thế hả ta? Người ta cứ
Bobo don't have the dart to deal with this. Lubert gets the timing on the peak. Oh, nice little molly on the spike as well to slow things down. Recon bolt, it's tagging Mazuong twice, and they don't want to peek him. They're just going to rotate that util. Info on all of these positions, but they need to hit those shots, and Muz is going to come in just in time to try and make that happen. Wall's going to be going back up now as the drone comes forward, but that spike is still down over towards yellow.
Oh, well, the ping on Muz is just going to isolate him from Zork at the moment. Has to wait for those to expire before they can start to scale up towards this site. There is a time factor, 30 seconds on the clock, a flank from Mike to eventually come through as well. So if you are Edge, you don't necessarily need to commit to a fight, though an unexpected angle from Amnesty. Now it's all down to Muz.
Muz, mate, what you got for us? He's got gas in the tank, but unfortunately can't use any of it. Wall's not gone back up, spike's not been retrieved, no more kills coming through, and the bonus ends up being more lackluster than expected.
Yeah, I mean, I'm looking at that one with 3 Vandals and a Bulldog in the mix and stuff. You're thinking light shields with Edge. If Bobo get an opening kill by playing it, let's say normally for the B main push, you know, you're leering out, you're droning, getting a bunch of this information, might have actually looked pretty damn nasty from them. But Edge, you know, Exerst finds that big old pick to get something in this map, because he's probably feeling a little bit uncomfortable with these individual performance right now. Rest of the team doing exactly what they needed to. Amnesty with a couple of ones to close this. So is that the way that Edge start to get back into this map? Playing kind of slow defensively, holding angles, letting Bobo come to them. Certainly work out. I mean, that's a good angle for Amnesty just to hold on the back of the cloud being open in mid. No smokes now available for Bobo.
Careful here.
Certainly makes things a lot more difficult, doesn't it? They have a wall, which is kind of like a smoke, but harder.
Yeah.
But they need to get into sight for that one to have solid impact. And it looks like they're just going to draw out as much of that utility as possible. Solid. With a whole minute on the clock, you see that spike edging out of A main. And the duelists, they're going to stay and just keep on showing presence. But the rotations have not been drawn. We've still got an orange player. We've still got a yellow player.
Yeah.
And Edge are in great spots.
That's all Edge needed to do, because they got the power of the toxic screeners up as well. If any of the Bobo members wanted to try and bully their way through, there's that vulnerability factor, and we saw what Noz did on the back of that in the previous half. So just finding a little bit of damage as a duelist there, just dispatching of Muz in mid. No one can really get in towards the A site. Now the jig's up. Now everyone knows what's happening around this B side of things. Exerst falls. Still 4 versus 4. Still enough for Edge to kind of go for a retake now.
Oh, only breaking one piece of that puzzle, and MK2 over the top, going to be able to snag one away. The attackers, they keep on trying to fight, and Mazuong not ready for that swing at Snowman. Thought he needed the help when he didn't really need to. Tucking was probably better to try and lock this one in. Zork, 20 points of health, mate. Pre-fires, send him to the Nether Realms, and send Edge to 6.
Yep. Try to build up that wall for a bit of protection. One chunk gone. Not looking over the top of it for anyone playing at the top side either. And little by little, it crumbles. Bobo unsuccessive in this one yet again. 3 alive from Edge, starting to get a bit closer. Starting to figure out what they need to do on this defensive side. This round is only going to be met with a pistol upgrade by Bobo. A resurrection in the mix as well. Starting to get a bit closer to these ultimates. So if you're Bobo in this round, you're looking for damage, try and keep the economy in check of Edge. You're looking for a plant potentially to get your own, specifically an ulti orb for the planter, because you're very nearing ults of your own. Imagine if you get into your next gun round with a Hunter's Fury, a Viper's Pit, an Empress. That's pretty big. So we'll see what damage can be delivered in this one. Bit of early utility presence to be up towards the A side. Can have the wall go up and down over at B, where Muz and Crunchy are currently holding each other's hands, starting to piece things together, get a bit of information. Fortunately, Noz has already dropped the spike as well as his life. Could get that spike retrieved. Start to go over towards the B side if the wall goes up for Muz over there. Crunchy and himself will be able to find some good timing. Yeah, they died.
That was a little rough there. But, look, they got time. They got rounds to play with. Not a huge amount anymore, but enough that they can try and make this work. A plant means a pit. they're just going to be doing it nice and safe here. Zork, oh, you could tell he wanted to go through. He gets the Hunter's Fury with a pick, so playing aggressively is not going to be the worst thing here. Zork, he's pushing forward. Oh, there's a gap on the back. Oh, he doesn't get the kill. If he got that, that would have been huge. And now, Luba, damn low. So's Mike. Taps it again. Hit down. No one on it. Oh, oh. That was winnable. That was so damn winnable, Mike. Within an inch of his life, but he survives in the end, and that is going to be 7 for Edge. Keeping it close, but keeping them on their toes with shots like that out of Bobo.
The difference, though, that if Mike survives comparing to dies in the pit as well, right? If you've got Zork, who's pushed the back of the site, will have some utility, will more importantly have a body up to play around the pit with Muzz. Yeah, maybe they can get it done. The 2 versus 4 with the lesser weaponry doesn't really matter at that point in time. Would have been cool, but the flip side, Mac, now being, had the pit not been invested, you would have a pit, the Hunter's Fury, and the Resurrection alongside Crunchy's Empress that he held from death too, right? So could have gone in with 4 ultimates. Now you're looking at Edge, who are 1 away from their own pit. A lockdown's nearing. This is where we start to get to the top end of this half, and it gets pretty decisive in when you want to use these abilities. For now, a exchanging of owl drones in the sky.
Ê,
MK2 can't win the duel with a dink on a Mazuong.
hai cái ron kia buồn cười thế.
No progression up through the B side of the map either for Luba to have any idea if anyone's already started to scale up through B main. It's all dirty territory, so you have to keep eyes over here as well. Exerst on the operator. Luba there on the side itself. You can find a pick, you can pitch to just dissuade Bobo from continuing over to the B side. It's all going to come down to what the initial engagement does actually look like over here.
We'll see what Bobo are going to propose here. The meetings are in. And Amnesty just trying to take him up. Oh, Zorky boy, not going to be able to have anything in this round. And this is looking a little terrible now for Bobo until that happens. Taking names, he's just put the bloody round on his back, and now it's all up to Crunchy to try to clutch. With 20 seconds on the clock, this has come out of bloody nowhere.
Tớ nhập đội, sorry mọi người.
Oh. Crunchy's overthinking it a little bit. Doesn't want to go for the plant. Now
he's got space to do it.
Where do you expect Amnesty to come from, though? He's got darts. Where can Crunchy play to defend this one?
Oh, yeah.
A 4K in from Mazuong, but Amnesty's 4K looks a bit better at the end, doesn't it?
Well, it's won the round, hasn't it?
Yeah.
That was a rough one. Crunchy was in his own head there, gave way too much time to Amnesty to be wherever he wanted, and arguably Amnesty just took a safe way out, right? Just, we'll go snowman, we'll drop around, we'll just walk around, and Crunchy ends up walking through a 50-50, looking at the side where he was just playing mind games with himself there.
Amnesty got the kill onto Mazuong, right? There was the trade. He essentially knew where the kill came from.
Yeah, but that was orange early on. You know, that was orange about 25 seconds earlier. So there is a world where he could have just yeeted through mid, background along. The timings mean that
I thought the trade was quick because then they went for the plan immediately. Unless Amnesty didn't take out Mazuong or someone else did. Regardless, rounds to Edge to try and get things a little bit closer. This buy not looking too crash hot for Bobo. Still, those ultimates that I did mention, a Blade Storm could be thrown into the mix if Mazuong wants. The Vandal given to a teammate to better attribute themselves to a duel. So they do choose. Pushing up through mid at the moment, through the cloud. Luba, immediate damage to his body. Muzz, oh, this one be expected to already get in towards the kitchen. He's just going to sit pretty for the time being.
He's just tucking away. The defender's certainly looking for it. Elbow seen. Oh, but a spray has gone awry for sure. And the movement game just not quite on point there for Bobo this round. Mazuong going to be able to find one before getting traded. Exerst as well from the back of the A side. Will pick up his. And it's going to be almost a team ace. But Zork is here. And Zork has no fear. And Zork is taking those names, baby.
Yeah, but with 30 HP, how are you going to be able to win this one against Luba?
30 seconds left.
Hit another headshot.
Through the screen. Yeah, another headshot will do it for sure. Oh, and by the timing, he's already slipped past. Did anyone spot it? It did. Lubit. Kind of wanted to see Zork win that.
If any of you die, I lose a bet with brimstone, so don't embarrass me like that.
Okay. 10-9.
Anyone have funds to
Big old
spare?
bite to come through from Bobo this time, protecting a couple of these ultimates as I've been mentioning. This is where it starts to get a little bit more decisive in how you start to plan your approach as Bobo, and for Edge as well, if you want to take any more risks or if you want to take it, you know, a little bit more mundane.
Get out of my way.
They're blind. Going straight up top, and Mazuong, he's had enough. Fighting fire with fire. And the knives looking good. Oh, almost managed to slide that one through too. But
He's close.
that's the aggression. Amnesty this time only able to find one, and Noz as well gets that res off. So numbers super strong for Bobo.
5-3. A lockdown available for Mike, but you can't really feel protected when you go to drop that one. You get overwhelmed by the forces of Bobo, who have decided to think better of sticking around Mac.
Oh yeah, do they cross? Do they get it? Lubert's off the line at the wrong time.
Yeah, the problem is Edge have no idea if someone's already gotten in towards the B side of things. Michael dispatching Mazuong. There's a big duel that can have a big effect over at this A side. Still, if Exerce finds Muzz, now it's the 3 versus 3.
Well,
You're looking at dropping that lockdown.
Brazzy, you guys had a 3-man or 2-man advantage, and 2 people were just not with the pack, and everything's gone completely wrong. Bobo, this is a terrible round. And it's going to take individual heroics, but my man Noz is alive. And it looks like, oh, he'll have to thrive if he wants to make this one happen, breaking his own wall to try and get an isolated fight, but Exerce pulls his knives out as well and gets those final 2 kills. Edge have tied this game up.
Yeah.
And Bobo, that was a great start to the round, but the mid-round calling just lost it for him.
Yeah, I mean, a scenario as well, right, where you kind of are on the edge where you're equal as Edge. The resurrection comes in from Bobo. That's the point in time where it should be a pretty cut decision for Bobo. 5 versus 3. Don't do anything too drastic to give an opportunity back over towards Edge. Splitting up, going for the rotation. A little bit of an overzealous peek as well. And some good shots from Edge, all in combination, grow together to be a really successful round for the defensive side. 6 in a row with 4 of them being defusers. These retakes are not looking too shabby for Edge, but for Bobo, they can't hold these spike plants down. And now in a round where you're in with kind of half investment, more on the little side, you're not going to lose the lead.
MK2 going to be able to crack open one before getting traded through. And Zork is hoping to at least crack open that left side of sight with the Hunter's Fury. And we got a defensive one coming back as well. Mazuong just tucking away on the back of sight. And he is gone skis. Lovely use of that one to find 2 for Amnesty. And now we got a 1v3. Oh, this is Zork at least able to find 1. But Bobo, they have lost the tremendous lead that they had here. They won the pistol this half. They came into this with what, 9 after that first half?
8-4.
8-4. But still, got the pistol, got that second round, and have not won since Edge have had gun rounds.
Yeah, every single gun round from Edge at the moment has been looking pretty darn good with those defusers, with the retakes, with just the mid-rounding as well. The decisions that they're making, not overexerting themselves. You know, it doesn't really matter that Exerce is not finding too much on one of these duelist roles. MK2 is still doing what he needs to as well, because for right now, for Exerce, all he needs to do is point and shoot this operator when he's in the right location. And he currently is over at the A site. Situated for some good plays, some great success. This is the overextensions that I'm talking about previously, though, that Bobo were doing, Mac. MK2, a little bit too far forward. Now Amnesty's going to try and see if he can do something better.
Constantly jiggling. Just hoping the slightly wide line will work for him, but Bobo just waiting for the tube players to make their move, it seems. Oh, I like this as well, Noz. The setup, believe in the setup, man. Mazuong just took that step out, and you've lost that man advantage that you had.
Yeah.
It's so rough to watch.
And with 45 seconds to go as well, you start to feel a little bit of a looming pressure and looming fate. The Bobo have got a lot of positions around this B site. They can wrap through spawn, they can go through all of kitchen, they can go back through towards main. This Viper's pit that has been ripped by Lubert can only cover so much of the B site. Actually, wait, is it still ripped on the site?
No, it's gone.
Oh.
He walked out of it.
Never mind.
And Mike, in the meanwhile, just going to be taking names. Everyone towards B has gone, and the fake this time works out, but it looks like, as you've said, Edge are very confident in their retakes. Noz with the wall up was not expected to be so close in the face there of Exhaust, and now we got a post-plant position that is very winnable for Bobo, but they're a man down.
Yeah, Lubert, 22 HP, so we'll see if a shock dart will finish him, or if it'll be one of these shots to come out from Bobo.
Toxins going up.
The wall will actually be pretty big for Edge.
Recon bolt needs to be dealt with. Oh, they've half-ticked it already.
Yeah.
A shocky could polish off Lubert here.
He's still alive.
But,
No, he's
it's
not.
not needed.
Last
They're off it.
standing.
It's half-ticked, jiggling. Here's the shot. No more tap. Nozzy goes wide, and that's that. Bobo, finally, after a long drought, they get a little sip.
Yeah, Noz has really had to dig deep in that round. 4 kills for him on this Sage kit too, using the slows at the end there with the wall for some protection to get the spike down for his teammate, but more importantly, having to take a risk there to try and dispatch of, well, the operator in that case of Exhaust. Very well done. You know, I thought that shock dart would have finished off Lubert, but actually managed to get a different player on down. Well played for Bobo, but I guess when you think about it, it never should have come to this kind of situation, right? There were so many chances that Bobo have had to close out these rounds. 7 on the trot for Edge, finally squandered for the 11-11. Full rounds of regulation to be played here, Mac, and it's back towards the B side for Bobo. Viper's utility to keep everybody at bay for the time being before Bobo starts to scale a little bit deeper in towards the site. The rotations will already come through for Edge.
Head on the swivel. Mazuong shooting all that util, trying to dodge it. And we got that flank coming through, but this time Zork is ready. Big pick again for Bobo. Let's see if they can convert.
Well, this is 7 in a row from Edge, and look at the buy that they've come in with.
Cái này có
Two,
OT
by the way,
không
a
hả mọi
Guardian, a
người?
Stinger, a classic for MK2, and an
OT
operator.
là Odin
Just given
Tham
to
đúng không?
Exhaust to try and deliver something. All the damage that Bobo have done previously, this is where it might have actually come into fruition at the nth hour.
Noz goes down for the plant, for the greater good. But with him gone, oh, it's looking unlikely. And this the shot that could have worked for him. Could have put him back in the lead. Mazuong, the dink, he gets baited by it. Many members wrapping around the yellow there. And now it's up to Muzz and Zork to make it happen. But look at Zork's position. He knows they're not on it. He sees that it's not rising. He's in the perfect spot to clutch this, and all he needs is for Muzz to live, for Muzz to survive. There's the kill that's needed, and there ain't time. There is time. Oh, Lord.
Yeah, there's time.
어떡해.
He wished that wall would be up for just a little bit longer, or maybe converting that into 2 kills could have done the damage. 2.26 seconds. Real unfortunate for Bobo there when you think maybe they're going to get this spike down and hold it again, Mac. The retakes have been so impactful for Edge. It doesn't matter that they had a bad purchase in that one. The fact that MK2 gets dinked down to 5 HP with the Phantom to come through from Mazuong, and then the train comes out and he heals back as well, gives him what's needed to be able to get down and dirty into that fight again. Everything working wonderful for Edge in this defensive side. And now it's last round of regulation to see if Bobo can push us into OT.
With this fire?
Yeah, weaponry is looking pretty scrappy.
Oh no. Well, let's see if they get a pick, stay together, trade out. That's what I want to see from them. They keep on trying to get a little bit too fancy with it for the most part.
Here.
And Edge are just hitting some cracker shots. They can taste this win.
A minute to go. Exerts at the right spot with an operator as well. You're going to have to see a Leo thrown in from Crunchy to try and off-put this position because there's no drone from Zork now. There is a recon bolt. There's also the Hunter's Fury. So if they can get deep into the site, Muzz might be able to drop a pit, and then we'll see how Edge fare a retake against the pit.
Time's ticking right on down.
Oh, gun barrel.
Okay. All right.
No hunters.
Now we might be cooking here.
30 seconds left.
What's going on now? What's this?
Empress running around shooting.
Có lẽ mọi người ơi, làm được. Làm được.
Ooh. It is not looking super good for Bobo. Muzz, mate. See you later. An edge, get it done. Better guns, better gameplay. And just better.
Gotta say, their retakes have been bloody phenomenal on Icebox here. You know, the amount of times they're going down with a player disadvantage, right? 13 to 11, 7 in a row, 1 back to Bobo. 1. By the way, that's the pistol in the second round in this attack aside from them, and only 1 gun round that they get. That 1 gun round, I'll give them credit. All the previous rounds they did enough damage to try and reset the economy of Edge, which did, but then Edge just come out with that lesser weaponry buy and still managed to get the job done. So I gotta say, Edge, you played Icebox defensive side absolutely phenomenally, and at the end of the day, doing that, getting the victory here, keeping you in the upper bracket, get some more money in your possession for this split.
That's crazy. That's crazy. A performance to remember, one that Bobo will probably never forget, and that L's going to taste pretty bloody bitter when they're down in that lower bracket. So we'll see if they're going to be able to make that run. So far, like they looked good when they looked good, but then there were points where it just looked like whoever's calling, whoever's making those shot calls is just... I feel like they were just not in it. Edge had their number. They sort of knew everything that was going on. And Edge, yeah, as you said, on the retakes were just absolutely phenomenal. It looked like a completely different game, you know, from map 1 to map 2 and then to map 3. It just was all over the damn place.
And the mitigated risk-taking that they go for on that defensive side as well, right? Very happy enough over at the B site to not extend and peek down the long line when they know that they've kind of been losing that a little bit in history on this map.
Xuống nhánh thua thì bao giờ đánh tiếp.
Bobo swing. Then they swing hard at B main if you see any sort of utility aggression there. So just play it deeper, play back, play for the retake. Doesn't matter that there's the Viper wall up, that there's utility being thrown your way, Crunchy's trying to take space on the Reyna, and that there's Noz with the Sage wall to try and provide protection. All of those factors still doesn't phase them on a retake, and it just looks wonderful. Like when you've got all of that utility from Bobo, how are you losing it? Well, it's to the amazing coordination of Edge that just takes them so far.
Yeah, teamwork makes the dream work, or so I'm told. But look, Amnesty dropping 30 there definitely got him across the line. There was so many rounds where he looked like he was just like in awkward spots. I'm even thinking in that first half, right? That one where they were sitting at yellow, they were all lined up. They should have been dead at some of those points. And then Bobo just pushed into them one by one. He was one-tapping them each time they came around that corner at yellow. Work. He just did so much work. 376 average combat score. These guys today need to give him a big pat on the back, because without him, without MK2 popping off on that second map as well, then look, Bobo probably would have taken this win.
Yeah, the funny thing as well for Amnesty, right? It's having some maps and some agents that you're not really delivering on. When you think of Lotus on the first map, playing Sky, really no kills. Ascent, playing Fade, really no kills. So over on Icebox, don't challenge Amnesty. He's a kryptonite, I gotta say. He's done absolutely phenomenally. Missing when we needed him the most. And then he did the thing.
He did the thing. He shot really good. Now, look, that brings us towards the end of the day. But before we wrap up, let's do some housekeeping. Hey, let's have a look at the bracket and see where everyone's sitting after the first round of games here in the upper bracket. Focus against Arena going to be that match 0-7. GG Hal and Edge going to be that match 0-8. So, look, we did hear from Minimize earlier. He would prefer to play Edge in the next game, and that's exactly what they're going to get. And then down in the lower bracket. So, tomorrow's games are going to be Rub and Pug up against JFT. Bobo as the second game of the evening. So that'll be an interesting couple of games. Rub and Pug, of course, very puggy after what we saw yesterday. JFT had some moves, but I feel like if RMP come out with, you know, their A game and they just bring out the crazy comps and hit their shots like you kind of expect, then JFT could still be in trouble. And then down in that other game, like IPGN against Bobo could actually be a lit one.
Yeah, I mean, with what we've seen from Bobo today, there's a little bit of housekeeping for themselves that they're going to need to review before going into tomorrow's game. Because if I'm looking at it, you go out in 7th and 8th, which we will see tomorrow in the losers of those games. You're only getting a grand, right? Yeah. That's all you're getting. You want to be at least finishing in the 5th to 6th, which is still only 1500. So just being in the upper side of the bracket right now actually nets you a pretty decent reward.
And money makes the world go round, or something like that. Loose going to be able to snatch away that top spot after a bit of a rough performance on the first map of the night, but that second one, I think, it was him or RDW. One of them had like 400 and something ACS. It was nuts. It must be Loose,
I think.
Yeah, and he's definitely pumped that ACS up, which is what you can see is what we go off here to be the top 5. So this is off ACS. Not necessarily the biggest killers, not necessarily the biggest like KDAers, average assists, you know. Not, I'm looking at Nos, but like, man.
Ủa mọi người không nghe thấy à? Mazuong vừa mới bắt máy là hay mà không nghe thấy á. Mazuong vừa mới bắt máy, Mazuong chửi một tăng luôn. Mazuong văng tục vào tôi kiểu hoảng luôn á. Bây giờ mình làm gì? Bây giờ? Chắc là mình tắt like mọi người ạ. Mazuong đánh xong rồi. Không nhảy đâu. Mắc cỡ lắm. Không nhảy đâu. Biết hát bài Capybara thôi ấy. Với lại bài Chibi chibi chaba chaba luri luri laba taba machikomi tubi tubi boom boom boom. Con biết cả một bài của Capybara. Capybara 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 capybara. Hey. Em biết nhảy bài gì? Em biết nhảy bài gì? Em á? Em bài gì ạ? Nhưng mà cái bài của Capybara có phiên bản tiếng Việt á mọi người. Capybara là chuột lang nước đúng không? Thì thay vì là Capybara thì mình chuột lang nước, 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 chuột lang nước. Việc xúc. Nhảy bài Magnetic. Tớ biết bài đấy. Tớ biết bài đấy. Đâu rồi? Không phải bài này.
Baby, I'm just trying to play cool, but I just couldn't hide that. I want it.
Mọi người nghe được nhạc không? Tớ biết nhảy điệp khúc. Tớ chỉ biết nhảy điệp khúc thôi. Đang chiếu highlight. Ngồi nhảy khó quá mọi người ơi. Nó là nó là được rồi, chắc là mình off đây. Đúng rồi, kênh này hôm nay là của tôi. Chắc là mình off đây mọi người ơi. Mai trả kênh lại cho Mazuong. Bà boy nữa. Tớ up đây. Bà boy. Sao biết năm sinh hay vậy trời. Biết năm sinh hay vậy. Bye bye.